He's a
boy.
heavy breather. Yeah.
Jambots. He's coming.
He doesn't even have lungs.
So let me push the thing, see if you don't already have them up.
Also, before we start, I subconsciously copied Gembot as my persona.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm like sideways him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're
Well, that was part
DJ
of.
D1.
Was that like the hat that was included in the Erebani Arms Limited package with the armor upgrades? There's some swag in there. You just like took one of the hats.
It's like the Gembot 9000 hat.
Yeah. Nice.
Do you know what my favorite thing about your hat is?
What?
Is that even though it's on sideways, the clip part is actually on the side of the
hat. Dude, that makes sense. They clip it at the temple,
yeah.
You know?
You wear your pants with your pockets out and your shoes zip
so you can have like that cool tuft of like cyberpunk hair, like just coming out the side because you got your half shave on.
I was really drunk when I drew that, but I love it
now. No, it's D1's actually gonna retire as like a forward-thinking fashion designer.
Yep.
On Epsilon Station.
We'll put the clip on the side. We'll redefine the industry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this lovely thing.
The AIDS-o-meter.
How could I forget?
Bro.
No, I read the rules. If a disease doesn't have a latent state, you actually just start at the next worst thing.
What does that mean?
To me?
That means that you're already weakened.
Hates us.
That means you're already weakened. I don't hate you. I'm sorry this is happening.
Why did you give them AIDS?
I'm telling you. Why are we using Fantasy Grounds, which is obviously broken?
Why did you let them bite you?
Because there were 3 of them all around us, and I dodged it so many times.
You did dodge.
I gotta type a thing real quick.
A bit first contact. It was like 11th first bite, dude.
Is that AIDS? Yeah, that's AIDS.
Okay.
But what's the deal? So like you can roll 2 successive
Yeah.
saving throws to go down, right? Oh, what did I miss?
Oh shit.
Sorry, I just had to deliver a private message.
Oh.
It's about my shitty rolls.
Yeah.
I forgot I have things that help my shitty rolls.
Oh no! This whole time.
You know, it's a scary, forgetful time out in the darkness of space in the quarantine zone.
It's cool that I already have AIDS, you know.
They say hindsight's nat 20, right?
Yeah, I believe that's what they say. Yeah. All right. Let me try. I'm gonna try to do like a proper Jambot recap. All right.
Die with some dignity, guys.
Here. Let's do this. Yeah. All right. We are still aboard the quarantined Acreon right now. Shit has been going down. You found bodies. You found security logs that a certain robot will probably never admit to not being able to get into himself without the aid and abetting of a dark elf and a space goblin who gave him a fucking key card to undo his fuck up. Richard has fully imbibed and succumbed to the VD, the space aids, and Rue, despite being resilient through a few flesh wounds, has also now started to show symptoms. You've done a few things in your time here. Basically, you've killed some of these space beasts already. You have befriended 2 goblins, Bibble and Philsix, who appear to be stuck on the ship when trying to basically plunder it, taking it for just a wrecked, salvageable thing. Bibble is clearly a mediocre, if not fantastic, bomb builder, as he's pointed out his handiwork on D1's blasted and dented face. His partner Philsix seems a little more grumbly and reserved, but Rue has been using him as a trap-triggering, bomb-sniffing goblin, essentially, as you sort of unearth some of the sleeping quarters and galley, the kitchen or whatever, of the ship. You've pretty much almost fully explored the bridge side of the vessel, staying pretty far away from the aft thus far. You uncovered His Excellency's private shipment and hauled it back onto the hippocampus, your borrowed vessel from Absalon Station. So far, you've upheld your promise to not investigate or open said cargo. And it's at this time that Richard, in a back and forth,
what if the Cure Space Age is in there?
Yeah, in a back and forth with Bibble on how many booms is enough booms, gave him his own incendiary grenade. And there's now, I believe, a frag grenade and an incendiary dangling off a tripwire in front of the double large doors that lead to the engineering bay at the aft of the ship. Is that correct?
Did I thought I gave him a grenade.
Yeah, I think you gave him a frag grenade, and then when Richard was like standing around, I distinctly remember there being 2 booms.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah,
if you could give him more booms. He was very underwhelmed by the amount of booms that you wanted to involve in his trap.
Oh yeah, you did it.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
Have you had that one before?
I have had that one. It's delicious.
God, it is like eating food.
Jesus.
It's great.
Sorry.
No. So in all of that recap, let's take a little stock. So story-wise, you got proper access to the ship's logs. There were mixed messages in there. Overall main idea is a lot of hurried entries, some voice, some video, about something coming from the drift rock, being overwhelmed, opening the ship up to the vacuum of space in several desperate attempts to get out of the situation the crew members had found themselves on in the Acreon. And another entry referred to the creatures coming from some of the valuable geodes that they took back from the drift rock, and they referred to these creatures as Akata. The last log you saw was what you believed to be the captain in full flight suit, mentioning that purging the air from the Acreon did not work and that they were retreating to the drift rock itself and abandoning ship. You could see like the Akata kind of in the background, like they were tense. They were basically, it was a very hurried, we're getting the fuck out of here last log. And so in all of that, Richard, you are feeling awful.
Good.
Like you feel sweaty, you feel like your skin's crawling at times. Everyone else, you actually do see his skin crawling at times. Rue, you feel like you just got like hot sweats and you're a little bit faint from time to time. So basically, let me just pull this up. Right now, you basically, it's an all-inclusive thing, so the lower you go, you basically collect them all. So Rue, right now you're just weakened. You're sickened and fatigued. So sickened basically means you have a -2 to pretty much most things.
Perfect.
Yeah. And fatigued means that you can't run or charge. Richard, you're also impaired. You may need to add your fortitude save to your shortcut bar.
Okay, yeah, already did it.
Okay, so basically
the only thing that we're good at is charging. That's like our only.
So just consider these just like automatic acting cues from a director. So Richard, whenever you do anything like a standard action and roll and get a 10 or less, just ham it up, buddy. You're feeling that sickness like you're puking. Who knows? Like it's nasty. But you know, run with it. Let us know what. I want you to take a little ownership of the acting chops when it comes to that.
So am I having to roll right this second?
No. So it's only like when you.
Okay, because I have anxiety right now.
Yeah.
Would I roll?
Well, it's like a
PTSD.
a scarred puppy, a shelter puppy.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just need 2
All right.
more than your maximum
Now-
roll.
Now, so again, in all of that, you just circle back to my original thought.
Sorry.
You all get 600 XP split amongst yourselves
Oh.
for unlocking the ship's logs, and you also get some XP from fighting and killing 4 space beasts. 1,600 spread amongst all of you.
Does that remove space aids?
No. But you are moving towards becoming more experienced Starfinders.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I'll say, dude.
Yeah.
I have learned so many things.
You'll have some tales to talk about back at the space bar on the space station. Because
Well, the
everything's
good news
in
is-
Quarantine.
If
Yeah.
we survive to level 3, I can cure you guys. I have
There you
cure
go.
blades.
Just make it to level 3.
Yep.
So I thought we could start. You know, there's probably some time going on between like the logs, building the bomb, getting back from taking the ambassador's cargo to your ship. I thought we would check in on one of your other contractual obligations,
Yep.
and maybe we could do like individual scenes for each of your confessional sessions for Erebani Arms Limited. The name, the logo, branded on each of you in some piece of merchandise or armor at the moment. So who would like to start?
Well,
Cameron,
I think
now,
that, yeah.
I'd like to know where you're doing. Like, are you taking a private room? Are you just doing it amongst your fellow spacefarers?
I
the
need
corridor
an
here?
audience.
Yeah.
So I'm down here by the goblins.
Yeah,
and
Bibble's kind of
I'm-
like looking up at you at the flying video drone.
Bibble, I asked you to open the door. Perhaps you could actually hear. And I like hold up the shock grenade and I say, perhaps
Oh,
we could put this along with the other kabooms.
more booms.
More booms are good booms. Yes.
Okay, he takes that, and in the out of focus background behind you, you can see like a weird chicken wire Christmas ornament dangling with like weird extra wires and trips and triggers that he's now trying to reconfigure with 3 grenades. 1 frag, 1 incendiary, and 1 shock.
It's good.
All right, your camera's rolling, so it's focused on it's centering on Rue right now.
It's been 5 minutes since my last vlog. And as you can see behind me, we're attempting to enter this door. We've killed
As I come
several.
over, to him, not realizing he's honest. I'm like, dude, look at this shit coming out of my arms.
And the camera like turns and you can actually see like
Yeah,
like
there's,
along his arm.
Yeah, there's like undulation in the skin. It kind of settles down at times, but it is creepy to say the least. Like at first, a lot of you thought you were just kind of seeing things, but like I don't know. Like if you touch it, you actually see like things kind of moving under the flesh at times.
As Richard walks over, I'm gonna start walking over to the body of the wasn't the first body was like right there of
Yeah.
I'm following him, showing it to him.
Yeah.
The whole point I
Like,
came
we're
over
like
to show
walking and talking, and I'm like, this here, and the camera points down, and I kind of like lift up its body a little bit. I'm like, this piece of work here has hurt both of us. I think we'll be okay though. To my admiring fans, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, they get a real good close-up look at the Akata that this video log referred to.
Yeah, I'm looking at that shit. Up
Yeah.
and down.
I imagine you just like kick it like really hard, like
Yeah.
in the guts, like
I kick it, because I also want to see how malleable it is. I want to kick it and just kind of get a feel for, not like I'm punting it, but
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
See the firmness.
It's a hefty fucking thing, and like it's got the tentacles kind of like flopping around.
Yeah.
It's about 400 pounds and about 3.5 feet tall. It's like a fucking somewhere between like a lion and an octopus abomination.
Oh.
With my hammer,
Mm-hmm.
I want to carefully take one of the teeth out.
Okay. Right.
And
you're just kind of like carefully trying to pry and
yeah,
pull
if I
it
have
out.
like gloves, I want gloves
okay.
on. I don't want to. I'm not care. I'm careful to not hurt myself. I'm not necessarily careful with the teeth. I just want to knock one out.
Okay.
And the reason why I want to wrap it up in a little fabricy thing, something, a pouch in my
Right.
pocket.
Okay. You're kind of working away at that now. Rue, are you just doing a short blog entry, or are you still filming while this is going on?
Oh, I'm still filming. I'm
Okay.
filming all of it.
Okay. And then you're seeing all of this. What are you doing after that?
And now, our next plan is to get the crew back. We managed to save these two little space goblins who are attempting to help us. Bibbles,
Bill
Bibble.
6 is just like crumbling in the background. Bibble's like, huh? And you kind of see he's like doing something with the shock grenade. It looks precarious.
Fiddy,
Yeah.
when these things attacked us, the space beasts.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There was more than one, and did they seem to like have like a pack mentality when they were surrounding us, or was it just kind of like a frenzy?
The three in the bridge certainly did. The first one you encountered out here was kind of just wandering the corridor alone. But
Okay.
you could surmise that it had just finished feeding the goblin, and it was kind of wandering to the northern corridor where you found the other two goblins hiding. So it was probably sniffing and stalking around, you would guess, because of them.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. Alright, Rue, you're continuing to wax on in your recording here?
Where's the tin
Yeah,
can?
for a little bit. For a little bit.
Okay. Anything specific you want to add, or are you just kind of going on about it?
Bibble. I want an exclusive interview with Bibble.
Okay. You see Bibble like almost tie like a small piece of string or thread around, almost like as if he's like tying off his work midway through. And Bibble's like, "Oi, Bibble!" And he's just looking up at you, and he seems very excited about your floating drone device.
Bibble, this is a floating camera. You should say hello. We have many admirers back on Absalon Station.
Bibble's kind of waving his gloved goblin hand around.
Bibble, explain what
Kind
you're
of goes up
doing
and
with the.
Bibble's poking it.
Yeah, that's
Bibble
basically it.
Bibble could attach bomb to this?
No.
Flying bomb!
Perhaps no. Good idea though, but no.
Just seems deflated at your immediate dismissal of what was obviously a brilliant idea, and he goes back to working on his little tripwire here. D1,
Hello.
are you kind of just like rolling around the corridors right now? I mean, at this point, you had already shared the logs with everyone, I believe.
I think so. I think that was the case.
Yeah.
I wanted
okay.
to do
You were checking out
two
the computers,
things. Yeah, I was in the computers. I was in the mainframe. I'm assuming I have like full access to it now with the key card.
You do, yeah, but the one thing I believe you were asking about before was like restoring the systems on here, and the one comment that I think that led to the bomb being built right now was that you certainly believe you'd be able to with the key card you have, but you would need to do it from the engineering room.
Okay. All right. So the things I want to do is I want to check the logs for the Akata. I want to see if there's any mention of them or the crew succumbing to the same thing and what happens eventually to them.
Okay. I want to do two things. First, I'd like you to make a computers check.
Oh man,
I
will interface further with this computer.
There's tons and tons and tons of data on this thing, and this is more just your efficiency to find specifically what you think would be useful versus like wasting lots of time here.
Come on, baby, you know you like it. Yeah,
Oh
she
yeah.
does. I
So
slap it right on the side of the
You
mainframe.
find a handful of arguably, hastily entered bits of data, but you find some stuff about the Akata. Now, the descriptions you don't really notice anything ultra valuable about them other than the obvious that you've encountered firsthand at this point. But there's like a few things that have you processing and running a few scenarios, and that's where I would say your mysticism side and sort of your life science stuff kind of comes into play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you life science me a bit? Oh yeah. Interesting.
Life science this.
So there was one crew member that sounds like they got fucked real good. Patient 0, if you will. And the one thing that stuck out to you, now it wasn't something that they clearly marked as an observation on their end, but the creature reacted strangely to sodium, to salt water.
Ah, perfect. You guys are made out of that. Alright, that's good.
There's not enough data to go on here. Before that, you can guess that they fucking didn't stick around too long to turn this into a science expedition, but you got enough to lead you in some interesting research options, perhaps.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's pretty much it for that. Rue, I'd like to have you wrap up your video recording and then maybe go around to your two other crew members after that. And it's not like this has to be back-to-back chronological order. I just imagine during this time of preparation, you would have maybe made time for this, or not. Up to you.
No, totally would have made time for it, especially if D1CK was going off to research things. And that concludes our time. I'm sure there'll be many more entries, but as of right now, things are okay at best.
It's like Richard coughing in the background.
Maybe like throws up. You're like, ugh.
It's blue throw up.
Okay. End of recording.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
feel fuzzy inside.
Richard would you've had a lot of time monitoring the corridors, monitoring the building, probably at least a half hour or so while this other stuff was going
What,
on.
do you do a fortitude save?
Did you do? No.
Kidding.
Are you doing your contractually obligated recording at any point here?
I guess so. He sits down.
Okay.
Here. And
Like
just keeps
leaning against the machinery on the wall there.
Yeah, leans against this, I should say, yeah. And then just puts it on for with the time limit on, and just keeps an eye everywhere. But that's it. He
Okay,
doesn't
but
say
yeah,
anything.
it's just silent, like fucking.
Every now and again, I check
It's
the
like
arm.
contraction got obligated 10-minute video log. Set
Yeah, it's
timer
like
for
one of
10
those-
minutes.
When he checks the arm of the things that are working, it's just kind of like a, like a Yakuza fixing his jacket,
Dude, I almost imagine that he's got like a pocket knife out and he's like scraping like his skin where that spot is, maybe, and like
yeah,
trying to see like what's there.
like trying to
I
peek
don't
in.
know. Yeah,
Mm.
trying to cut some of it out, maybe.
He's not there yet,
Okay.
but who knows what the next step might bring.
All right, I like it. And
Oh,
then
and we're wearing spacesuits, so
yeah.
that doesn't make sense.
D1, you have recorded information about your obligation to include a video log. Have you done so yet?
I
Or
have
would
not,
you like
and
to?
I would like to make one of my first recordings. I would
Okay.
like to set my camera on the dashboard and record me interfacing with this V4G unit.
His is
Okay.
all just gonna be like porn,
Yep.
robot porn. That's all of his. Hi, Bailey.
Okay. Anything particular that you are that you'd like to
shots
add?
you're looking to
What, anything that we see in the recording that you'd like to describe for us?
I record 5 minutes of all positions available in my programming.
In my video, all you can hear is the little tin can in the background.
She appears to like it.
But it's more like a ting sound, like metal hitting metal. Ting,
Yep.
ting, ting.
Oh, Morse code. I know Morse code. Yep.
Oh, that's perfect.
Uh-huh.
That is perfect.
That's the one.
Perfect. Okay, well, yeah, that's where. Oh, he's still going. Okay, I think he's done. What?
Take my data.
Jambot got on it too.
Jesus.
Jambot, would you like some of this ass?
Okay. No. Oh my god.
Yeah, take my RAM stick.
The interfacing never stops.
It's a good
Okay.
video.
All right, the recording stops.
I
Whew.
make a copy and I give one to the V4G unit as well.
All right. Okay.
Is it keepsake?
Yep.
So, a decent amount of time passes. Richard, you're unfortunately not feeling any better just yet. Rue, you got the sweats, but you're hanging in there. You're being strong. The putting on the recording, putting on a strong face for the audience really helped you find your grit.
I rallied.
Yeah. So Bibble's clearly done at this point. It's fairly clear to you, I believe now, at this stage, that the crew members and some of the answers you're seeking don't lie on the ship, or at least part of them must lie upon the drift rock, according to that last log. What you do from here is up to you. Your hippocampus, your borrowed vessel, is still parked a small floating distance away.
I want to
Okay.
do one last thing, if that's possible.
I'll meet up with Richard instead
Sure.
of trying to get into the
Yeah.
door.
What are you doing, D1?
I want to check the ship's log for any goblin ship approaching and where it might be parked and what happened to it, and if it's still around.
You take a quick look, but it's pretty obvious to you that you should stop
See
wasting good
everything.
rolls. No, it's pretty obvious to you that the goblins rolled up on this thing to salvage it, so the ship was already in like a barely functioning low power state at that point, and really not recording or having any crew members at that point, from what you would guess.
Okay. And with that, oh shit. There's one last thing I want to try. Can I connect with this ship so I can put it on autopilot? Like, can I put it in like D1CK mode? Like, can I connect to it through the internet? Remote piloting.
Oh, remote pilot, like this ship?
Yep.
You mean to like steer this ship?
Or like turn the engines on, whatever I want. When they come back online, if we fix them.
It doesn't appear to have that capability in its systems, but you wouldn't be able to fully know that until all of its systems were actually online. But from what you could tell, it wasn't outfitted with any hardware or software that would allow for something like that. Again,
Well,
this is like a mining vessel, right? So it's certainly not with a lot of perks.
Okay.
From
I just wanted
from what
to
you've
check.
seen. Yeah, fair enough. All right. You return to the corridor with grumbling Phil6 and grinning Bibble.
Hey
Bibble's
guys.
just standing around kind of anxiously, like occasionally looking at his trap.
Bibble, we want to test the trap. Just give us a minute. Perhaps, why don't you, well, just wait a second. Why don't you go down to that bottom door and try to open it while we talk?
May I suggest a huddle? I have some
Okay.
critical information for you.
Bibble kind of nudges Phil Six as he goes past, and they both walk towards the southern door. You're talking about? Are you pointing towards the
Yeah.
the storage door, not the airlock door?
The door, not the airlock door, the
This guy.
storage door.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You hear them slowly open the door, and you two.
Yeah, we're talking.
Whispers. Okay.
I found a report that said that the monsters that attacked you reacted funny, in quotes, to sodium or salt water, and there is a galley on this ship. Perhaps we could locate some water and sodium.
That sounds like a great plan.
This way, gentlemen. I know the way.
Yeah, D1, hold it.
I love it, D1, and I follow. Let's get
And-
that fucking salt and water.
I just kind of watch them as they walk away, and then I hear the door do and like open up, and I'm like, okay.
And as soon as you hear that and start walking towards them, you hear a collective chorus of "Oh, oh."
I'm gonna call over my shoulder, Richard.
And then I go to this corner. D1, D1.
I'm running back to you. Hyper mode.
I think this is gonna be even more fun to play this game. Rue, what is it?
And
I heard an ooh.
You walk up behind the two small space goblins, oohing into what appears to be the starboard cargo hold, mirroring to the north, and you see two about 4 foot large crystalline egg-like shells
Close the door.
in the back of the room, along with a bunch of other miscellaneous cargo. And Phil Six is kind of walking slowly towards it, like gleamy-eyed.
Phil Six. Do you remember the creatures?
Huh?
The creatures. Do you know the creatures with the big teeth? Yes, they come out of that. They come out of that. Do you still have a? And I look at him and I do.
Yeah. Make a diplomacy check for me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Diplome him.
Oh, you diplomed hard. Whoa.
He is clearly not getting it, like is not understanding you at all, but your eyes are so mesmerizing you kind of just glamour him back out of the room.
I love that that's as good as a nat 20 gets for a space goblin to understand. That's a dumb
He rolled a 1 on his intelligence check.
He's pretty retarded.
It's like
He's as dumb
opposing
as it gets.
forces.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's
So
hilarious.
you're guiding them back out of the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
closing the door.
yes.
Okay, just
Close.
checking.
Wait. As we're walking out,
Uh-huh.
I want to look around and see, is there access to like a ventilation system or like overhead? Like
Yeah.
up there is.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean,
it's
none
aliens.
of it appears perturbed or damaged.
No.
But yeah.
That's- yeah. And I pull him close and I say, listen, creatures, do you have any more explosives? If we attached it, this would be a very good boom moment.
Let me see. No,
Or-
they're both shaking their heads, and I do recall you guys fleecing them quite strongly a few times over.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty sure that they're not bullshitting when it comes to
Richard!
not having anything.
Then I look over to D1 and I say, D1, yeah, can't you ear incept this guy? Can't you get a message across to him? Ear
I could-
incept him?
I could try to infiltrate his puny, fleshy mind one moment, and then like 1990s internet noises come spilling out of me. Rue Vindicar connecting. Hey, what up, buddy?
Hey,
Yeah. Are you leading them back towards the others, or are you staying near the storage door?
I'm staying right here for right
Okay.
now. there are two more alien dog things, but they're in their eggs. So we can blow them up or send them. Ooh, maybe we should send them to space.
I have Rue on speaker pointing towards Richard.
It's funny because you can actually hear my voice down the hall.
Yeah, but it's just really faint. But I can hear it.
It's like an echo. There's like a very slight delay.
Mine sounds really shitty.
But I can at least understand it.
We could push them into space maybe, or blow them up, or leave them here and hope they don't access the ventilation system. What
room are they in? What is the room?
Cargo hold, I think.
Cargo hold.
That room.
Oh, your voice comes out into Rue's mind through me.
Cargo hold?
Hey, what room are they at?
The room beyond the store. Richard's like, what?
Is there an exit shaft in there?
Shit.
I wanna open Bibble, why don't you and Phil6 go up to the trap for a few minutes?
Do we already get the dude's package? I can't remember.
Yeah,
we
you
did.
loaded it. You
Yeah,
loaded
okay.
it into
Maybe-
So it's
the
definitely not
loaner
here.
shuttle. Yeah.
Maybe
wanna-
they could go look for salt in the meantime.
Yes.
I'm gonna open the door again, and I want to see if I can notice anything about the eggs, like if they're moving or vibrating, or if like the shell is like slowly
Oh god.
breaking, like fucking aliens kind of thing.
And you're gonna do this from the safety of the doorway. The
No,
threshold?
I'll move in a little bit. If like, okay, I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna look to see if they're moving. If they're not moving, like from this distance, I'm gonna move closer. And I'm
You've
gonna
already got
inspect
AIDS,
a
I
little bit
believe
closer.
you.
You can't get more AIDS than AIDS.
Make a
What's
Oh, wait,
the worst
yes,
that could
you can.
happen?
make a stealth check. Rue,
Oh fuck! I have to be stealthy.
with your -2.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Can I take that nat 20 that I got for
flip
convincing
around?
a goblin to do nothing?
He didn't.
Okay.
You didn't
Open
convince him
eggs.
to do nothing. You got him to leave the room, my friend.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Do you want to go back in time and take the 20 back?
No.
I mean, I'm happy to do that if you want.
Let's take the 20 back. It sounds like a rap song.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's
nah,
a
I'm
rage
good. I'm
song.
good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'm sure there could have been bad things.
Okay. You slowly enter the storage room, the cargo hold here. From what you can tell, from your naked eye, your approach
Gross.
does not appear to disturb the eggs, as you called them. Now, take the room in for me in your quiet position here, your comfortably quiet position, and make a perception check.
Rue
I
rips
I-
apart.
I asked you one. Does he see an exit shaft or a button to open it?
I want to tell you, but you probably just heard it.
Yeah, I'm whispering really loudly.
Yeah. It's coming
You do not notice any glinting loose bits of shard. As I'd like to imagine, you kind of got like your spacesuit lights, kind of looking around like a bit of a flashlight in the dark.
yeah.
You do, however, notice a loose pistol, as if dropped or thrown or something, on the middle of the floor. It's a slightly different looking pistol. Not like the laser guns you've seen. Something more with like a classic barrel or something. You can't tell from this distance. There's
Where is
also, There's also where is it? Where do you think?
Well,
Rue,
there's-
I don't want to interrupt, but it's probably over a big red X that says
There's
trap.
also a very large petrol tank that it's laying next to.
Oh.
Um,
It's pointed at the petrol tank.
the room is still, and beyond that, you just see like what appears to be normal cargo.
Sounds pretty safe. You got this, buddy.
well, listen, I know how I would respond, but Rue
WWRD.
turns the cameras on and he looks into them.
Oh god.
Watch this. and then
The
Rue is
camera
going
spins
to-
around and sees like it becomes an over-the-shoulder shot. Then Air Bonnie Arms logo is kind of blurred out in the foreground, and you look around and you see everything described. You also happen to see, as you do this like spin, that behind some of the crates appears to be like a small like lab station or something, as well as like some other like basic mining equipment and rock samples.
Is there like salt?
Like rock salt?
Like is there like sodium?
I don't know.
It's right next to the gun that's labeled trap on the red X.
And then
So the camera's on. It's over the shoulder.
What do you see in there, buddy?
There's a unique looking gun in front of the eggs and some tanks that look like they could be explosives, and I think I have to get the gun. Oh, and the laundry's done.
does he need help?
Now, Rue and D1,
Yeah.
like, Rue was calling, Richard, Rue was calling you back, or were you still kind of like approaching?
We have comms, dude. We can just
Yeah.
straight up talk.
Yeah, you can straight up talk, but I didn't know if like when he called you, like, you know, they said that they stopped their approach to the galley. I didn't know if they were heading back towards you.
I stopped.
I may need backup, but I don't want to say that
Yeah, okay.
on the camera.
Here's a suggestion. Maybe we have the goblins go pick up the gun.
Maybe can he maybe answer in the mind talk to D1 at least?
Yeah, he can answer.
That way.
All right, so he's gonna have to put it on camera.
Yeah.
I think
And
when
then
is it like an?
Does he
I
want
wonder.
backup or not?
I'm gonna check that. Is it an audible?
If he can
reply?
respond.
Or is it a mind reply? I guess it's probably a mind reply.
D1, does he want us to follow up or not?
He does want us to.
All right, I'm going in.
I'm gonna wait until Richard gets close.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to be quiet. And
Okay.
Richard's done some gangster shit before, so it's like he can be pretty quiet. But up until about this, where the marker goes, he's just walking normally. Boom, 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 and you just hear it down the holes.
Okay.
Whatever you do, Rue, be careful not to blow a hole in the side of the ship. You'll be sucked out.
All right.
Well,
Richard, you get
Did
fairly
we
close.
we didn't restore life support, did we?
No, not
So if I blew a hole in it, it's not going to create a vacuum, so we'd be fine.
yet. Correct.
Didn't we repressurize? I thought we
I don't-
repressurized.
Did we? Can we repressurize without being in the
don't
engineering?
think so.
No? Okay. Either
I
way,
think,
I mean,
I think you asked about it, and the answer was that you would need to basically repower the ship from the engineering bay.
okay. The plot thickens.
All right, Rue, you've got
I-
point on this one. What are you doing exactly? Anyone else can jump in if you like, but
I think I can reach the gun. It looks interesting. Like, we should probably pick it up.
You gonna Indiana Jones it?
Yeah, yeah, the Last Crusade, like the final part when Sean Connery's holding his hands. He's like, I can get it. I can get it.
I can touch it.
I say on the comms, is it a salt gun?
No,
It's an assault rifle.
An assault rifle.
An assault.
I'm gonna
like the sounds of that.
stealthily sneak up to it.
It's just like a super
Grab
soaker.
it.
okay.
Like as I approach, okay, listen, I'm walking very, very slowly
Right.
and very purposefully,
Yeah.
and as I get closer, I'm examining it as I walk,
Yeah.
and
But
I'm trying to perceive if there's traps, and I'm trying to perceive what the gun actually is.
the walking comes easy. It's just the skillful footfalls that are difficult considering your fatigue state right now. Go ahead and make a stealth check as you approach.
Not
I'll take it.
fantastic.
You creep past the cocoons and come upon this pistol and petrol tank in the corner over here. Appears to be a flame pistol that shoots a line of ignited petrol from its barrels when attached to the tank. If you want to take the time to examine it further here, you sure could, but you have just the creepiest sensation washing over you as you sit in this room alone with those things.
I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna just walk out.
Alright, you
Like it's a flamethrower, right? It just needs fuel,
yeah,
basically.
and there's a
Are you
tank
taking the petrol tank?
with it.
No.
Okay.
I mean, okay, let me clarify. Is it how close am I to the petrol tank, and how close is the petrol tank to the things? And like, am I
Imagine
having to
this is
like
a
reach
tank.
over?
Imagine this is the gun. They're like next to each other.
Oh, then I'd take both of them.
Yeah. It seems
Okay.
it seems like they're a connected thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If they're connected, then yes. I thought you were saying it
No,
was
no,
like
I'm
I'm
sorry.
imagining like a big tank.
No, this is
Okay.
like
Just
wear
imagine
it on your back or hold it in your hand kind of tank.
Okay.
Like you grab hold of the gun and you start walking, and then the tank
And
falls over. Like...
or it like it stops and I'm like
I wouldn't do
sit
that.
there and like unwind.
Gas goes everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You pick up the tank. It's not too heavy, and you pick up the pistol. They're not physically tethered together, but they're obviously connected. There's hosing and stuff like that on the tank.
Okay.
And you make your way out of the room.
Yeah, I walk back.
Okay. Make one last stealth check for me, please.
Listen, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
alright, there we go.
I know, little gas kid.
Yeah. You're quite certain, Rue, that you didn't see any shards or anything like that, but it felt like things were like subtly following you, tracking you as you moved through the room. It didn't leave you with a grand
A good feeling.
I imagine. Yeah.
Okay. I want the door to close.
Is your camera still rolling?
Oh yeah. It's recording all of this. It closed, like I want the door to close, and then I'm gonna pull out my blade, my sun blade, solar blade, and I just want to like carve into the door a be careful, enemies inside. Or
Dead
something.
inside.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Here, let me help you with that. And I push the lock door button.
Yeah. Not that it really matters if there are things.
Maybe it'll slow him down or something. I mean, you never know.
Hey, so I picked this up and I show Richard and D1CK.
That looks amazing.
Pretty dope, dude.
Do you want it?
It's in the
I don't
party
think I can use
inventory
this.
right now.
I mean, I don't think D1 and I are gonna not take it.
You want me to be a flame trooper, or do you want to do it?
I feel like you have a lot of responsibilities, D1.
I do.
Richard, maybe you don't want to die anymore?
Yeah, actually, I don't want to die. At all.
Ever.
I hand it to Richard. It looks like one of those like really small backpacks that
Yeah.
would, because you're so big, it's like really tiny.
It's like a messenger bag on me.
Yeah.
Oh, could it be like an
Could
Indian
be like a
Jones
fanny. Could be like a
satchel?
fanny
Mhm.
pack. Could just be a fanny pack. You gotta, like, take it to the-
Yes. Dude, that looks wicked good on you.
I love that. I love it. Do it.
I mean, I'll put it in Richard's inventory here. Hold on.
This is turning into aliens.
Yeah, except you only have like it's 1d4, but
But it shoots it in a line.
and neither of us can charge anymore, so maybe that's good.
A line. Do you understand that? Do you understand what a line
Yeah.
is?
I think so.
Yeah, you do.
It's like in a line, like if you draw a point A and a point B.
That's the literal definition of a line. Fucking
blown.
Geometry 101. masterclass.
Rue,
So
I
we
was just
do a
telling
little bit of
Richard
this, a little bit of that.
that maybe there's some salt in the kitchen, and we could use that
Yeah.
to slow down your wounds.
I was wondering the same thing, guys. Ever since you've been talking about salt, I mean, I know it's gonna suck, but I'd love to dump some in this. And I'm like pointing to my arm. Like I hold it up like that
Like
in there.
the holes, all the holes
Yeah,
that are in
like
your
all
arm.
of these.
Oh.
It's gonna burn.
Yeah. Let's go to the kitchen.
And
Okay.
do you guys think they have a steak?
I mean,
No.
maybe. Let's see what we can find.
Maybe space jerky?
Hey, we could cut up this space boy over here, and I kicked the dog a little bit as we walked past.
I don't know if you see what happened when it was outside
Yeah.
the first time.
I'm confident it has AIDS.
Maybe if you cook it first, though, you know, you can eat snakes even though they're venomous.
It's true.
The
Don't
goblins
do
are kind
this.
of like fumbling and mumbling
Um,
behind you.
Hey, come here, Bibble, Felix. We're gonna get some food, and this will be pretty entertaining. Do they have a
Your
microwave?
entertainment.
I'm gonna make some
Yeah.
Kraft mac and cheese for the goblins. Maybe not.
You
It's Arabani arms, macaroni and cheese.
so you
Arabani cheese.
yeah you see a well-equipped kitchen. Unfortunately, it falls under the same restrictions as most of the ship right now, in that
Oh
there's
yeah.
not any juice.
Yes, but we have a flamethrower. We could just burn.
That and is there salt?
Yes, we need salt.
I'm tearing through the cabinets.
Tearing through. You find some sodium tablets. Yeah.
Like little ones? Try to tear. I'm like carrying like 1,000 packets.
Yeah. Tons of little packets. Yeah.
All right, hold on. Get as much sodium as you possibly can and put it in this pot, and I hold up a pot.
Richard's just like throwing small packets of salt all over him in a frenzied rage almost. It's burning and stinging, but you're not sure if this is how it goes in.
Yeah, give me that salt. Put it in the bucket.
I gotta bite on something. What do I have to? Oh, the handle to my hammer.
Okay.
It's in my teeth.
All
I
right.
wanna put the salt in my dart gun and shoot him in the arm with my dart gun.
Okay. Are you making like a?
I'm making a
A
saltwater
liquid?
injection.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how are you you're heating up the water?
Nope, I am pouring it into water. As much salt as
Here.
it can take before
Alright,
it turns
um,
into a slurry.
it's fairly soluble, I guess.
I've got a pretty good idea if you want to heat it up, and I just pull out I do the and my
Oh.
blade.
Your solar moat.
It's way
Yes.
better than this flamethrower.
Clever
that has
girl.
so much.
Alright, I like my little pincers extend
Okay.
and I
And
hold it close to
Alright.
us.
and,
Yeah.
and I heat it up.
Obviously,
It's
adding
like an
some
R2D2
heat.
one.
Yeah, some heat and some swirl enhances the solubility. You're feeling a little bit better about this concoction than just throwing literal salt packets on yourself or cold water with salt
That
floating
sounds way
around
better.
in it. Yeah. It's,
But you don't know how this
it's a
feels.
notable upgrade on the medicine check here.
Yeah,
Impaired,
we did it.
guys. I'm impaired.
All right. D1, you're administering the dart with this.
Yep, I'm gonna dart him right in the origin of
ass.
the wound.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Oh.
make a medicine check, D1.
I'm
Since you're
pretty
my-
sure. D1, I'm pretty sure that has to be in his ass cheek. You can't just put it in his arm. Has
How
to
much
be-
medicine do you know? Check this out. Fuck.
On my screen, that
You-
read it 18.
D1 concedes to the ass cheek suggestion from Rue and just shoots it in mid discussion, I imagine.
Between the cheeks.
Oh, wait a second. That is very.
Let's try to get both of them. It's getting in you one way or the other. Is there any noticeable improvement to his wounds?
It burns. It definitely burns. It really burns.
Your butt's not getting AIDS anytime soon.
I have a picture I'm looking for online. And it's hard for me to find, but it's pretty much my face.
I don't know why. Just the between the cheeks. Like I couldn't stop thinking about like, yeah, between the mountains or something.
The dart goes between the mountains.
Some sort of like cheesy hotel painting. I don't know why.
They teach you that in med school, the between the mountains technique.
Yeah, like a hospital room painting.
Yeah.
It's like two mountaintops with a sunset.
That's where the dart goes.
There's a noticeable initial surge of pain and a burning sensation as this dart shoots inside of you and spreads its hot sodium fluid. Jesus Christ. You're not sure if it had any effect. Like you don't feel immediately better. But you do think that maybe your skin crawling, the sensation of it all has toned down a touch.
Alright, Rue, it's your turn. Bend over.
I don't believe you'll be injecting me with anything.
Come on, buddy, don't worry about it. It's just like the old two mountain tops.
Is the camera still rolling?
Yeah, yes.
I think we need to turn the camera off, but no, I don't think you're gonna be putting that in my body.
I mean, I could inject you from the other side if you like.
Listen, I saw your technique. You're not getting anywhere near my ass.
Richard, would you like the rest of the serum?
I don't know.
Maybe in your arm this time?
Here, why don't you? If you do it in the arm, I'll let you do it in my arm.
How much is left? Is there enough for two people?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
You said a bucket, and like these are going into like fucking.
Come here, buddy. We got a long way to go.
Oh my God.
Richard, make a fist, and then I start injecting him in the arm with sodium water. Just like three fast injections. Like,
all right. Okay, make another medicine check.
Oh, come on, medicine. Don't fuck me now.
Don't fuck Rue.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Three injections was the trick.
Okay.
In the arm.
Rue, you notice you're pretty sure you notice a change in symptoms. It's definitely not gone, but it feels like your body's putting up a stronger fight right now.
Oh wait, I thought I was doing it to Richard, and then if that worked, it was going in Rue.
No, you're doing it to me, bud.
Oh. Yeah. I'm totally not drunk right now.
Okay. You've administered what you can. You have some extra solution in a half-filled bucket in the kitchen. I don't know. What are we doing from here? What are you doing? How do you want to proceed?
I really want to inject Richard again in the arm.
Okay. Medicine me. Medicine Richard.
Oh, come on. He has the broken aid stick. We need to save him. God damn it. I injected him 3 times in the arm.
I mean, he's really infected, though.
Yeah. Like, really.
Here, maybe you should drink the rest of the solution, too, just to be safe.
Yeah, you could try imbibing it. Why not, right?
Casey, drink it. Drink the rest of the bucket.
So.
I'm trying to cover the pictures. It's taking me a long time. I think that they're worth it.
Okay. The D1 unit is trying to encourage you to drink salt water right now.
I drink it.
Seems pretty safe to me.
Fuck it. I drink it.
Okay, make a fortitude
How
saving
much
throw.
is there? How much is there?
It's like half a bucket or something.
Need to make a fortitude saving throw, Richard.
You're gonna die right now.
Oh, I hope not. Roll down. Oh, yeah. There we go.
I don't want to do that again.
You chug just this hot, nasty saltwater concoction, and like your insides feel like they're trying to escape you. You don't feel fantastic, but much like Rue, you feel like your body's trying to put up a fight.
Okay, good job, immune system. That a baby.
Alright.
I've done all I can. You're in God's hands now.
Okay, well, I say we go open up that door and blow up some stupid dogs.
What's the worst that could... Wait a minute, the flamethrower room? Or
No.
the
No,
main
no.
hatch? Okay.
The main
Alright,
area.
I'm gonna take shelter over here.
Okay, yeah, we'll take shelter in a second here.
Bibble, Felix.
Okay.
It-
Here, I found what I was looking for. Dude, so this is the beginning of the injection, right? And then it starts to
You were
And
right,
it
very
gets-
worth it.
Is that the salt water dripping out of your pores in your mouth?
I think that's it. Yeah, that was what I was looking for.
That's worth
Very
it.
worth it.
I
Very
found
worth.
it.
Very worth.
You got an injection in your taint, right in the nacho. You drank a bunch of salt water.
There we go. So okay, let me see where we're at. We're about ready to open this sumbitch, right?
Yeah, let's just fucking do it.
And then what does this corridor look like? It looks like there's like a lot of what are these cylinder things?
Yeah, just like wall-plated machinery humming. You know, it's just very, very sci-fi in here.
Are these all like flat walls or? Let me
Yeah. Yeah, flat walls, and some of the panels are like perforated, you know, and obviously panels that could be removed to see some of like the machinery of the ship.
Does
Thought
it
it was
look
a
like
nice detail in the fog of war.
does it look like the X-Men down where the head where he puts the helmet on? You know how flat those walls are, or does it look more like something out of Fifth Element? Like how refined is this ship?
Star Wars.
Oh,
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a little more Star Wars, I'd say.
Okay.
You know, think Kit Bash fucking mining vessel, right? It's got patchwork, it's got paint on top of old paint. So a little rugged.
Okay.
It's a Loco.
But not without character, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So where's
And then is there
go ahead.
cover or anything on these hallways? Like, for instance, does this little thing protrude out from here? In Star Wars, they hide behind that thing after they break Leia out from jail and they start shooting down the hallway. You know what I mean? Like, is there little pieces of cover places?
I mean, it's pretty clean lines down the corridor other than going into, like, the adjoining hallways, like the perpendicular hallways.
Sounds good.
You could always get like a table, flip it over. Isn't there a table up in the kitchen area?
Wow, lots of cargo.
It's not- yeah, it's
I mean,
good,
most
I mean-
furniture is pretty hunkered down, as you recall from the captain's chair. But
You can take the wall panels off. You can
Nice.
take them off.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're getting pretty elaborate here.
Well, I just want them to have cover for whatever's ahead.
sure,
I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but I am impaired.
you're the only two obvious paths for you to be near the doorway, the blast doors, are either to be in a perpendicular hallway or to bring out some of your own large cover from some like the crates or something like that. Most of the furniture, from what you've seen, is well bolted down. Could be removed, but you know.
Last question. Rue, do you think that blade of yours could, I don't know, melt steel, like say a lightsaber could?
What would I know about my solar thing?
Let's learn together. It's made of like glowing light or solid darkness, depending on your manifestation. I don't believe, because I think it just functions similar to a kinetic weapon. So I don't think it's hot enough that you could kind of get like a continual heat blast from it. Come here. But you know, maybe at higher levels.
Reason I ask is, you said you saw some shit in that bottom room.
Yeah.
I don't want Big Boom waking up Big Mama Bear, or any of its cubs.
Because Could we barricade the door? Well, I guess it doesn't
Anyway.
matter. They have ventilation in there. They could just come through anywhere.
Good. Wait. I have an idea. Is there? I look around. Is there a way we can quickly access the ventilation shaft?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check. And okay. See this? I see a spot in the where someone can enter, and then I feel around for my pockets and my things to see if I have anything that might be of use.
Okay.
I go with Richard.
There was like, yeah, some engineering tools that you lifted from fleecing the goblins.
Any like big blades or knives or anything any sharp objects, maybe is a better way to put it. What I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, there'd be stuff for like kind of cutting and crimping metal and shit like that.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is, what I'm thinking is, if we can get the can up there, if you wouldn't mind, D1, is that we've set a trap, so that if we do barricade the doors, if they try to leave through the vents, they won't make it. Like, they get there rushing through, and they run into just, I don't know, a face full of knives. I love knives to the eye. It's one of my favorites.
I don't mind at all. Hoist me up.
What do you think, Rue?
Well, so how many knives? How many sharp objects do we have? And do we have like a piece of like what I'm thinking is like a piece of wood, where you actually or something where you drive the knives through the back of it, so it creates like a spike wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Something like that, and then you could put it.
And, ooh. Yeah.
We'd have to reinforce it though.
Here's the other thing I want. And then I drop this thing, I riff off of your idea with the wood, and I drop how, like, I have a couple more grenades, I think, in my pocket, and I want to put, like, on one of the tips, the pin, so that when it gets hit, it would pull the grenade.
Yeah.
So,
at the very least, it would give us, like, an indication that something's coming, and hopefully, I mean, it would
fuck some shit
kill
up.
him, yeah.
May I make an additional suggestion?
Oh, of course, D1.
Perhaps we could put your flamethrower up in the ceiling, attached to a grenade, attached to a tripwire.
It does sound good, but then I don't have it. And attached to my hands.
It would make a substantial explosion in the air ducts.
I mean, there was another container in the room.
Nope, we're not going back in there. Fuck off.
The other option is...
Was it an anvil attached to a chain above the red X?
It was, yes. The aliens planted a booby trap.
We are no boobies.
Or I have a suggestion. We could just open this door and just... I mean, let's do the thing. Let's do the knife thing, and then we'll open the door. Yeah, the knife and the grenade thing.
Okay.
We'll set our elaborate trap in the ventilation.
Who's constructing this thing?
I imagine that we start getting stuff out, and we're like sitting down on the ground, like, you know, cross-legged, and we're trying to like
stuff,
do it, and then Bibble comes over and kind of looks and is, what doing?
Yeah, like his trap making senses are tingling.
Yeah, like we're doing it, and it looks like a toddler with a crayon compared to, you know, like an Auric or
Here's
someone.
the thing: did Bibble just get lucky at making that trap? He's pretty retarded.
I'm pretty sure
He
Bibble
has a 1 for intelligence.
is incredible at making traps.
There are some dumb
Anyway,
people who are
CJ.
good at boom booms.
Let him make boom boom.
Bibble, we're trying to make a trap where if we wake up the creatures in that room and they go through the ventilation towards us, it will kill them in the ventilation. Yes? We have
He's like tapping on the patched
loves
glass
this,
of
yeah.
his space
we have
helmet.
here are your tools or potential weapons, and we lay that all out like in a line. It's all the sharp objects, and
I hand
the,
out paper clips.
yeah.
Clips.
and the grenade.
He's kind of just like running his gloved hands over all of it, like, and smiling quite gleefully. It's like you know, someone's got like the folded up, just perfectly laid out, slotted thing for all of their like murder utensils. He's like looking at it and pawing over it with like loving tenderness, like a scene such as that. It's kind
Here
of like
I go
backing
murdering
up.
again.
He's backing up and just like, like kind of trying to find a configuration like a perfect Tetris board, just manipulating this stuff. And okay, he's gonna go ahead and do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that.
Damn, that +7.
I know he is good at making traps.
He's
Oh, and
he
we have
he
that.
feels fairly happy with it. Yeah.
Did we use that laser pistol that blasted D1CK before? Did we use that in our first trap?
The one from the trap?
Yeah.
Why, it much like most of his equipment, you'll notice
It's
that
a one use.
sometimes they explode in your hands, and that particular pistol was almost intentionally rigged to do so, it seemed. So it's definitely not functioning.
Okay. We don't have any more of those, do we? No, I don't think we do. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Bibble, with some level of skill, builds a trap through the main vent that seems to connect towards the other storage room. That was the idea, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So you can imagine it's like somewhere in the vent that's above like the corridor here, right? Like where if somebody was kind of like crawling through the systems, they might travel through like in between up there in the ceilings and like drop down. So somewhere around there is where it was kind of like pathing to.
Is there like a T section around here that we could place it instead? Like that way we don't. Like is that like where the main trap is?
You mean cover more than
Like
one
above?
angle?
Like
Yeah, yeah.
You're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
above
like
that area?
Well, maybe that'll blow up over us if it blows up. That's not good.
Okay.
I take that. I rescind that.
Okay, Bibble,
Take it back.
Bibble was trying to. Bibble took your interpretation as if you wanted to head off any exit from this room.
Okay.
But if that's not the
yeah,
case,
that works.
please
That
correct
works.
me.
That works.
Please correct Bibble.
Bibble is wise.
Okay.
I believe in you, young space idiot.
So up above the southern corridor, there appears to be some level of coverage, courtesy of Bibble.
Bibble, is that a family name?
Where do we go from here?
I say we have him open the doors. I don't
Yeah,
even want to go close to that.
At this point, we should open the doors.
Have the goblins do it.
Okay.
They've been so helpful. Maybe Phil6 can help since Bibble is preoccupied elsewhere.
Phil6 always open door. Bibble always builds the bombs. Nobody ever asked Phil6 to build the bombs.
That's because you're so good at opening doors, buddy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't use a hammer to screw in a screw. Do what God made you for.
Phil6, with kind of grumbling, plodding walk, approaches the doors to the engineering bay, and then his walk noticeably gets a little more cautious as he approaches Bibble's bomb. He steps over the tripwire carefully.
Very smart.
Very carefully.
And he blows himself up.
He's like Ricky, dude, with bombs.
Oh, I hope not.
Takes off
Like-
his glove and starts like poking at the computer screen that's sort of in low power mode and still functioning for the doors.
Ricky's weakness is sharp inclines.
No, but Ricky's amazing at only two things.
That's true.
And his two things are building bombs, and I don't know what the other one is yet.
Opening doors.
Yeah, apparently.
Stepping over wires.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beep, beep, beep.
That looks like a power core.
As the doors open to what appeared to be an engineering room with two locked doors. Phil6 kind of slowly backs away.
Why are you backing away, buddy? Commit. What's through
When he
there?
backs away, did he step over the wire?
He did.
Maybe you should be a hero and see what's in that room.
Phil6 kind of just looks back at all of you. Looks back at the room and just says, big room, big thing. And you kind of see like a dormant, faintly glowing, like almost geode power core. Clearly like in a low power mode. Lots of cabling and wiring and machinery, all riding and routed along the rear wall. And in like this reverse C-shape corridor, or half of a square, if you will, kind of cut off down the middle, there appear to be two doors that are closed that lead to some sort of, you could assume control room beyond, with all the wiring heading through the walls into that area.
And that looks like an engine room. If I can get in there, I could probably turn the ship back on. But there's probably like a boss in there or some shit.
Well, there's two locked doors, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Two closed doors.
yeah. If you remember, we did have the choice to enter from back.
Aft.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that it's not too bad. Like,
Yeah, you have a good idea of the size of the ship, and then
Okay.
from D1 accessing like the logs and the computers, getting an idea of the rooms around here.
fuck it,
D1
I'm going in.
Yeah, D1 scoots up. Don't forget about the wire, buddy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
avoid the wire.
Okay, you're all able to easily avoid the wire with taking the proper precautions and nothing making you move without thinking. Everyone's moving in towards the engineering bay.
Rue, what do you see in there? Over.
I take a look around.
Obviously, the power core is here, and some sort of connected engineering bay is beyond it.
Do you see any terminals?
It appears that the terminals are probably in the room past this. Do I see any crystals, or like I'm looking around, like walls, ceilings, nooks, crannies?
Other than
Like,
other than being like in low energy mode right now, there's nothing that indicates any sign of struggle in here, any strange damage, nothing like that.
Okay. I believe we're okay. We should still keep the trap rigged in case we need to retreat quickly. I say we enter in through the port door.
Okay.
D1 takes a look at the core of the ship to see if there's anything broken about it physically, or if it's just in low power mode.
From all of your assessments in the bridge and what you're seeing here firsthand, it seems like it's entirely like the computer systems have been shut down and shifted into low power mode. Nothing more. No like actual damage to the hardware.
And there's no way to interface with this big blue orb. I have to, like, it's just basically sitting here.
Correct. You can tell
Okay.
by the setup that there are tons and tons of wires like leading into the next room.
Okay. Well,
I
This-
slide the lock and open the door.
oh shit, wait
Yeah.
for Richard.
Sorry, I'm coming. I'm
the
walking over the
guppies.
line. The line and coming in behind him, but I am lagging behind for sure
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
because
Like
of
how-
my state of
He's
me.
absolutely lagging behind. I'm opening the door.
D1 whistles for the goblins to come as well. Come on, boys, come on. But it sounds hideous, like robot whistling.
I have my hammer, and just for the sake of conversation, I have my hammer in one hand, and one of my pistols in my other hand. I'll tell you which one in a second here. But I have many.
Oh, I see wires and terminals. Those are the things I like.
Dude,
I
this
take a
place
look
would be
around, and
delicious.
again, I'm looking for like the crystals that I saw. I at this point I feel like I have a pretty good indication of when a creature is kind of near. in terms of the crystals and the weird creepy feeling that I got from that other room.
Yeah, no. As soon as that door opens, that feeling
die.
washes directly over you. You see 2 cracked cocoons and 2 creatures prowling around the engineering bay. One of them is, you see movement as you immediately look to the south, and one of the creatures is kind of crawling near the main computer terminal, and it just quickly turns its look towards you. I need you to roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh, sick. We're gonna die.
Rue,
Gonna fucking.
this is the time that I need you to roll really and it.
Oh shit! That 20.
My goddamn initiative. Fuck my life.
Well, you're going first.
Yeah. Hey, Richard. I'm coming to meet you in the next state of the old plague, buddy. I'm joining you in just a second.
Listen, just try and keep up, man.
What attunement are you both going?
Oh, the only one, Photon.
Photon.
Also, can I just say, I hope you took a screenshot of your disease track because it's beautiful.
Well, I'm gonna grab it. That's the headline of my notes this week.
There you go. I'll put it in here too.
I don't even like. There's square disease on that dick. There's circle disease. There's. Oh, look at that layout. I like it. You can see the whole time.
That's the Watcher.
There's little red dots on shit.
All right.
Pubes.
So, Rue, you open the door. You immediately, like, you know, all your senses just fucking surge. Your muscles tense. You see the creature. You've got time enough to get a sentence out over the comms or back away into the doorway. Which one do you do?
Well, I'm not saying anything. I turn and run as fast as I can. I remember the trap. Everybody knows the signal. If
I hope
anybody
the camera
sees,
catches like the fear.
no,
The
it's
initial-
not the
no.
it's not the fear necessarily. It's the prudence.
His
Oh,
eyes
prudence.
read like someone trying to prove like they're not afraid. As you
Yeah.
rewatch the-
As I look in the camera, I kind of give a wink, and then I dash
Um,
as far as I can. Like I don't know how if I can do it.
I'm happy to say that Rue and only Rue in this case, basically because you popped out on them, you basically were the sole participant in what would be a surprise round.
Okay.
So you can't run, but you can do a single move.
What does that mean?
Actually, running is a specific action. I think you can do a double move. You can't run. So running would be because of your sickness. You can still do a double move. You can't do a run, which is 4 times your movement speed.
But like surprise attack is like you get one thing, right? Like you get to do a
Surprise!
attack.
Surprise means
Right,
like
that's what you're trying
you
to say.
open the door, you surprise them, so you get 1 full turn before we go to the start of the actual initiative order. Sometimes there's more than 1 participant. But in this case, like since Rue,
Well, that makes sense,
yeah.
so in there.
I
So
mean,
you get 1 full turn, Rue.
as far as I can turn around and move,
Yeah.
that's the only thing that I want to do. And
Okay.
I would love to get past the trap.
Yeah.
and
You
as
got
I-
60 feet. You got 60 feet.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me
Normally,
reevaluate that.
yeah, just to be clear, so you can do a double move, but you can't run. Run would be 120 feet.
That's awesome. So for the sake of like flavor, are you just like you're scared?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm doing the
Like
speed
fast
walker.
walking? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like looking over my shoulder too. Like oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Hey,
Okay.
buddy, where you going?
I just walk past him and I'm just like maybe move. Maybe move. Maybe move. Move. Maybe
So
move.
confused.
Move here. Move here. 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 Move here. Here.
All right,
That guy
we go.
was so confident.
we go to proper round 1, and I don't know if you were saying that over the comms, Rue?
Yeah, I told everybody that.
Okay. And he comes fast walking right back where he came from, where he's left the door open into the engineering bay. And Richard, what are you doing?
The gun that I was getting ready is actually my flamethrower. So think of it as like attached to my hip, and I have my.
Oh, we lost the mic. We lost your mic as you backed away there.
Yep.
Oh shit! Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
my left hand I have my flamethrower, in my right hand I have my hammer.
Okay.
And I'm actually gonna hold action until D1 moves.
Okay.
Because I wanna. How far is this flamethrower again? Shit.
It's a line of 20 feet, I believe.
That's not what I wanted. All right. Well, never mind then. Cause this sucks. Cause
Don't blow
being
yourself
at this,
up.
well, being at this stage, I'm on the other side of the whole tripwire thing, and being at this stage right now sucks because, if I move back, I forfeit my attack. If I
No.
stay
You
still.
can employ some tactical choices here. So you can
Triggers?
define a trigger,
Okay.
or you can
That's
delay.
what I want.
And if you that's the distinction, right, between a trigger and a delay. Is a trigger means you don't lose your spot, but you
Right.
only do that thing if the trigger's satisfied.
Okay, that's fine.
If you delay, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but you permanently shift in the turn order.
Okay. Being mindful of the trap. Now I see this explosion radius. If I'm like fully covered like here in this, would I still take the explosive damage, or do I need to be completely out of the circle?
You would need to be completely out.
Okay.
That being
cockballs.
yeah, you would have some bonuses to defense because of the partial cover, but you need to be fully out. I can re-end that.
How big is the explosion?
I believe it's 15 actually.
2 booms, silly.
2 booms. Let me just double check the grenade.
Well, I only moved 50 feet. If I knew I had to get out of boom radius, I would have gone that
Well,
extra
no,
10
let's
feet.
double check. Oh shit. Oh, it is 15 feet. Okay, yeah. No, you can adjust accordingly.
Okay.
Oh wait, let's do this. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go to the opposite end because of the things that are in the one below me.
Oh god, good
And-
call. Yeah.
and sorry, I'm just trying to. What I would like to do is have this wall covering me, but then have line of sight of the trap
I got
and
you.
staying
Yeah.
out of the explosion.
Alright.
You've got like this line of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm ready. So basically, I wanted to ready my flamethrower just for added fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're in. Go ahead and clearly define your trigger for me.
So as soon at the first target that triggers the trap, well, if they trigger the trap, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's friendly or enemy. I am going to blast whichever one it is.
Okay.
Further.
All right.
Let me rephrase this. After the trap, like after the initial burst, all that shit happens. The subjects that are coming out, that's what I'm gonna. Yeah, that's when I'll pick whichever one I see. Because if there's 2 running out simultaneously,
Yeah,
can I pick a target that way?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Just gonna go ahead and correct
Oh, look at that
your
fog of
line
war.
your line of sight here.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Okay. Trigger defined. You hear movement echoing through the open doorways.
Oh, he rolled high.
It's enough to skis you out, but you're not sure exactly where it's going from. So you hear a lot of activity essentially, yeah, but like it's not ultra clear which direction it's going.
Oh, good.
You also
Oh my
Sweet.
god, they both rolled like 19s or 20.
You also hear some additional movement as one of them comes running into the D1 unit and engages it in melee range, but does not get
Jesus.
an attack off.
Oh, but it's pinned you into melee.
But it's alright, because I have
D1.
bonuses.
It's your turn.
AC
Holy fuck!
bonuses.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck! I just book it I jump over the tripwire.
Okay.
I forgot what
Yeah,
it's called.
yeah. You get a +4 to AC, so he's gonna get a -4 on the bite that he's trying to lay into you as you go running and leaping past him. Melee attack against the D1 unit, and he misses.
Yeah.
And you go running and leaping over the trap, and it
Holy shit, guys!
It just whips around, looking right at you, looking right past the trap, and seeing all of you piled up in the corridor. You can tell that it's coming for you.
Do I get to fire?
Phil
Not fire?
6, no.
Okay.
You did a double move, right? So.
No, just a regular old 30.
Oh really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You may fire.
Is the door still open?
It is.
I fire.
In situations like this, you're gonna be very explicit if you're closing a door.
Did you like run out the door, turn, and then fire? Or did you
Yeah.
run and gun?
I'm
See
running.
like an R2 unit, like kind of just like tilt at like a 30-degree angle.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and do this.
Oh, you fire and hit. It's really, really agitated now. Throw damage on it.
I am trying to throw damage on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Take that.
Phil 6 just shaking his head like, and just goes pushing past Richard.
That was just a warning shot, you bitch.
And is kind of cowering near the space lock. Also included. Perfect. Let's see. Bibble. Clearly keeping an eye on his handiwork, only backs away slightly. Both goblins weaponless, yeah. So he's just watching from behind the line of Rue and D1. Rue, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my knife at that guy.
Nice.
Alright.
Let me make sure I can find my knife here. Just says, why do I have two of these?
Not sure. Let me.
Oh,
check.
one's range and one's actual.
One's for the
attack.
melee attack, yeah.
Yeah.
You throw and hit. Ooh. Okay. All right. Some nice initial fire. As we come back to
Can
Richard, you never went.
Alright.
I don't know if you want to just continue holding and kind of set the same trigger
I'm
again.
gonna reestablish my yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna reestablish a little bit here. There's a couple things that went through my head where I'm at. One, I'm impaired. So whenever I take a standard or full action, what does that? Does that
That
mean
is
if I
correct.
ran and shot, I'd have to roll 2 fortitude saves? 'Cause that is some bogus.
No,
bullshit.
it would just be once per. It would just be for the standard action. So, like if you run, and then shoot, it would just be like on the shot that you would have to first roll the
Okay.
fortitude save.
Okay. Well, I don't like where I'm standing now because I don't like Phil 6 to be at my back,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like feeling like I'm cornered.
Oh,
So I'm gonna go behind, like, side to side with these guys, flamethrower out, just staring these motherfuckers in the face.
Okay, sorry.
And trigger again is the same thing.
Wait, can you hit him here with your flamethrower?
It's a 20-foot line.
No.
Oh, it's 30 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm setting my trigger again, I guess. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So as soon as he comes into range, you're gonna pull the trigger.
Last. Yeah.
Literal
Biddy,
trigger.
let me ask something.
Mhm.
Where ventilation wise where's the nearest ventilation thing?
I would say there's a panel probably like right in dead center of the corridor, like where
Like
the
there?
the T section.
oh,
Um,
I knew it,
probably
I've got a
above
good
each
feeling.
of the rooms.
but I'm happy we didn't put the grenade there because we would have
Actually-
made shit.
You know what, Fiddy?
Hmm.
I take that all back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna sidestep a little bit, be close to these guys, but almost a little bit out of sight of them as well.
All right.
And And same trigger.
Okay. So as soon as you see one in range, you're firing. Okay. I want you all to make a perception check.
I can perceive. Let's percept.
They're in the vents. I want to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Please, can I please say that?
But
Yeah.
right as you're saying it, I like say
They
it
don't
at the
even
same
hear it.
time.
I don't even hear it.
They're in
Yeah.
the vents.
They're in the vents.
They're in the vents.
Like,
Alright.
and my eyes, like, look up.
As soon as like you look up and like whisper this across the comms, you see Bibble just like slowly turn around, as if he heard something, and he kind of like.
Oh, is Bibble gonna get taken down? He's gonna get AIDS.
He's looking behind you to the southeast.
Oh, great.
Hi, Bibble. Well, he's like a little watchdog.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I get a move again.
Your gaze is immediately pulled back to the like just tendrils flailing behind him, billowing jawed creature in front of you, who is just like rearing up for a charge.
Ah, shit. Well, he can't jump over the thing if he's charging.
He immediately
Why
comes
did you chuckle
running
like that?
I know,
towards
right?
The two
Because
of
he
you.
flies.
He's immune
He's
to
throwing something
tripwire.
at tripwire, and he's a floater.
He
Yeah.
immediately runs towards the two of you, giving chase to the D1 unit, but quickly turning towards the thing that's actually made of meat and flesh, and
Perfect.
crashes directly into the tripwire.
Oh, and we get fire from what's his face, right?
So, let's see.
This could be barbecue.
Yeah, as he hits it after the explosion, I just say, "Come and get it, baby! It's barbecue time!"
Pull the trigger. Okay. So on the 3 ornamented Bibble bomb, we had an incendiary grenade, a frag grenade, and a shock grenade.
I want us all to be looking at the door and get silhouetted with just an explosion and flamethrower coming in on it.
D1 roll a D8 for the shock grenade. Richard, go ahead and roll a D6 and a D4 for the incendiary grenade. And Rue, why don't you go ahead and roll for the frag grenade, which is a D6 as well.
Can I roll for confetti? Oh.
And then last but not least, Richard,
No,
as
last
this
but certainly least.
this
Yeah,
multicolored
yeah.
fireworks display goes off.
Fucking on it.
How?
So I think I don't get to do anything. I think that's what happens.
How can you miss?
So that's a total of 7, 10 damage. Only 10 damage out of all of that.
But it was cool.
And this thing just like staggers and slides, bloodied but not beaten across the floor, right in front of all of you, like just
Is
like
he prone?
prone on the ground. Yes.
And
Nice.
within melee
Almost kind of
range.
spun around. Yes, within melee range.
Yeah, nice.
As a line of fire just goes blasting down the corridor, the thing trips and falls so fast, so quickly, that it just completely skirts under the 20-foot line of flame, just kissing the opposite wall from Richard. And Richard, I need you to make a fortitude saving throw.
What am I doing?
Oh, you did
already
make the
did,
fortitude.
didn't
Oh,
you?
so sorry. So retcon, proper
I'm saying I didn't do
description.
anything.
You pull the trigger and it goes off, but you're just retching the whole time and just blasting fire at the ceiling. I'd like you to also, actually, I'm gonna roll something.
It makes a smiley face.
You take 36 points of damage and you die instantly.
I'm gonna roll something.
Your AIDS
secret
spreads.
That would be cleaner than this, honestly.
Interesting.
This is like so helpless. It's stupid.
For a moment, Richard's form, and you can't tell if it's like the visual distortion from the heat, almost looks like it like shrinks and shifts, like as if like the pulsing sickness in his arm is like surging forward, and it's almost like there's a tentacle that's reaching out, clutching around a gun, but as you look past through the smoke of the explosion, he looks normal. But Richard, like you're feeling like you just went on like a wild mental vacation there for a moment. You don't know what the fuck just happened.
Maybe they like heat?
Mm,
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think it's more like he's transforming if we
D1.
don't cure him.
You're up.
Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh wait a minute, shit, we heard something from behind us. God damn it. Time to take a gamble. Oh fuck, ah shit. And I run over here.
Oh, okay.
And I fire back at the prone guy, and I hope that gives me some sort of advantage on him.
Okay, you're able to run past him without him getting attacked due to him being prone. Now,
Perfect.
firing at a prone target is actually giving him a defensive advantage.
Really?
Yeah. In melee, I believe you get a bonus to hit.
So if he attacked first and then moved, would that also work?
Stab him a little bit.
If it was
Yeah,
a
like he
melee, if
stabbed
it was
him.
a melee attack, yeah.
Let me check my mail. Yeah, laser pistol. Well, I have like burn and shit on my gun. I'm gonna try and get that crit. Let's try it. 7 it is.
-4. You miss. Phil
Fuck.
6 is just cowering in the corner.
People heard something.
And he's kind of just like backing away from the hallway until he bumps up against Rue.
You feel something push against your butt, and it's a goblin.
It's not Dr. D1's special injection. Rue, what are you doing?
Between the mountains.
Between the mountains, that's fantastic. I double attack this piece of shit.
What? How do you
Ooh.
double attack?
Anyone
You
can
should-
double attack.
But you
But
get
you
minus something, right?
you get a bonus.
You rolled
So
0 on one.
before you roll stuff right now, when anyone's got like potential condition, I'll tell you what the modifier is. Just add before you roll.
Give the slow clap to that.
So DC.
It's less than the minimum.
So the zero definitely doesn't hit, but the first one does. If you'd like to roll damage as your solar blade connects.
I stop breathing for a second, and I have like a moment where I'm like, and then I just stab him.
Or like your sword gets stuck in the sheath, and you have to like, pull it twice. Like,
You.
oh, nice.
With him
Wait.
still moving, you barely connect. Yeah.
Wait a second. So I lose of a +3. I get a +3 bonus. You're telling me because I have a disease, I lose 2 of that bonus?
It's only supposed to be. Let me just double check.
Because that was a D6 +3, and I lost 2
yep.
extra
Yeah,
points.
yeah. There's no strength behind it in your sickened state. You get -2 to pretty much all checks right now.
This sucks.
Just think Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
hey, dude,
Players.
welcome to the fucking
think
party.
Walking Dead, right? Like you got fucking bit by the zombies and are still mostly yourself, but you are not feeling good.
But you suck balls.
Yeah.
Suck balls. You're
Space
yourself
zombie balls.
with a lot more space zombie balls in your mouth right now.
That's great that I wasted that entire turn on that.
I hope this thing doesn't get
Yeah.
up.
Take your acting cues, okay? You're sick. You're so sick. You're trying to put on a show for your audience right now. Richard's coughing and vomiting in the corner. The smoke has really just set him off.
Fucking, I'm just gonna try it again.
Think
Alright.
about the mountains.
Let's see what's my actions, which is it. Holy shit, there's so many things in here.
You got an artillery, small artillery going on here.
I do, because it's a good thing I'm about to die.
Your incendiary grenade's gone now.
Is it the flame pistol?
So it's the shock grenade, right?
Or no?
Yeah, the flame pistol. So if you rolled a hit... Ooh, yeah.
I thought that was a 1 for, again. I was like, oh my god!
And then because of that, I have to do this.
Oh, are you helping yourself? Yeah.
Oh, man.
So which just cancels it anyway, so.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some more beer.
Alright. So there's something happening with Richard, but I'll wait to explain it when he's back with his beer.
Oh no, I mean I'm here, but
Okay.
my
So
desk.
alright. So as he turns and fires again, like his skin just seems to like expand and shrink. And Rue, you just catch out of the side of your eye, and D1, you can see across like the fucking line of spitting liquid flame. Richard begins to shift and change, almost writhing in pain during all of this. And he shrinks down to a small tentacled creature form, and just looks like he is incredibly sickly and monstrous, all at the same time. Still holding his gun, though.
It's alright, buddy. Nobody tell him what he looks like. It's hideous.
Oh.
You've got eyeballs where they don't belong. What the shit's that crap coming out of your head?
My
Fuck
favorite thing is the title of that image, which is Richard Sick.
Richard's sick.
What's it say?
Richard's sick.
Yeah.
Fuck me, I'm turning away.
Don't look at it! Don't look at it!
It's hideous. I knew it was gonna be bad, but I didn't know it was gonna be this bad.
Both of you are fully photon attuned, though.
Fully photon attuned?
Yeah, you even more so because you had the surprise round.
I look down like a cartoon
Can you-
that's naked. Oh shit, I'm naked.
Can you? Yeah, there you go. Oh shit.
Oh man. Okay. Richard, that's it for you. You find yourself in a strange form, and you do not feel good, my friend. Bibble's cries and concerns are audibly answered as there's like a loud banging noise and like the sound of something dropping and hitting in the corridor to the south. And emerging, just peeking around the corner with one last step, you see flanking you, or trying to, one of the Akata. Meanwhile, turning back towards the sword, stabbing through it, and stepping forward,
Does it have to stand up first?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
it does. I don't think you get an attack of opportunity, though. Let me triple check. Because
Yeah,
it's
I
still
do. I get
engaged with you?
like five attacks
You get 5 of them?
of opportunity. Yeah, I get 5 of them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and I think I get to help him on his rolls too.
Yeah. I get like extra bonuses.
And
a
also
plus.
his friend dies too.
I get like a plus 30, and then I get to pick somebody who dies around me, and I pick Bibble.
It takes his move action to stand up, so he would just stand right there, not get closer
Oh,
to you
perfect.
and Richard. But you do not get an attack of opportunity. And it tries to bite you, Rue.
Perfect. I get bitten.
And you get bitten.
Don't I get to make a fortitude save now or some nonsense?
You do. And you're fine.
Hey.
D1. You watch as Richard shoots flames and shifts and changes, and Rue is set upon by one of the Akata. You are unaware of the additional Akata.
D1's not taken aback by Richard Pound that he transformed, but he thinks it's just hideous. He's like, oh Jesus Christ! Like what the? This is worse than anything he ever expected. And then he pulls back here, and he takes aim. I think. See if I can reach him. Oop, shit! Am I lagging? Probably lagging.
Did you mean to path like that?
No, I did not mean to pass.
Okay,
How do
okay.
I remove that?
Just reset. There you go. Just draw
Thank
a
you.
new one.
I'm gonna strafe a little bit and try not to shoot Rue in the face.
Okay.
And I'm going to.
I appreciate that. By
You're
the way.
You're welcome. Well, I know how we've been rolling this campaign, so. Yeah, okay.
Ooh, you fire and miss.
But hopefully
Fire
it
and
don't
miss.
crit miss. It's crit miss, guys.
Oh man. Bibble's just like subtly trying to back into you like every so often, like Bibble have no gun.
I don't think I have a gun, do I? Let me double check my inventory here.
Bibble's got the guns of his fist.
Just your dagger.
Yeah,
And
just my dagger.
And you already, was that your shot grenade we used earlier?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
gone
go
now.
and delete that.
Bye bye.
Nope, no gun, no gun. He's just pushing back against you. You can feel his terror. It's your turn though.
Alright, I'm gonna stab this piece of shit right in front of me. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
Maybe I can stab him and win.
Alright.
Maybe.
Stab and win.
Stab.
That's the one.
I like as I'm about to stab him, like raise it up and I just like
You just start vomiting. You just start
Like,
vomiting, and your solar thing your sword just backs into the moat floating in front of
Yeah.
you.
In fact, Dick, why don't you make
Projectile
a,
vomit just goes around the floating stone.
instead of hitting him, I just puke vomit, like vomit worms all over his face.
Oh yeah, and you can feel the creature inside you crawling
Yeah.
around
I don't feel
within
good.
you right now. Richard, you are
I turn the
on
camera away.
all of your tentacles moving in a strange but familiar form.
my
And
mouth, yeah.
ugh. What are you doing?
My
Weird
mouth
vagina
is
testicle.
my elbow eyeballs are blinking.
Yeah.
As I look at Ruru and my butthole mouth. I'll explain it later. I just here, give this and I toss him a laser pistol. So you know what?
Like to Bibble, like you like kind of like reach a tentacle around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus,
Nice.
it's talking to us.
I sent him. Yeah, my laser pistol, I guess.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna put it like as 0 on your inventory right now, but just we'll remember that you gave it to Bibble. Put a note, Bibble.
I'd rather have somebody else with a gun than me with two.
Okay. All right. I'll consider that a swift action since you were mostly recovering last turn. So you kind of skirt a little bit ahead, slide a pistol towards Bibble. He feels it on his foot and he kind of reaches down and grabs it.
I move this way.
Mhm.
And I fire from, I guess, I don't know if flanking even matters, but try it again with the flame
It
pistol.
does. It does. You get add a +2 to your modifier.
Oh,
Oh!
Shoot.
Flame pistol, what the fuck?
So, he's not feeling very good.
Yeah.
It's him up, so he shoots and misses.
Yeah, fortitude save that guy.
And then on top of that, he's already not feeling very good, so fucking fortitude saves himself, but fucking barely. So it did count,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
Setting in on sweet Bibble. Sorry,
Oh,
Richard.
my Bibble.
I'm sorry, Richard. I'm even more sorry, Bill. This guy just fucking comes charging, biting, and tries to latch onto his arm, and hits.
He's got the AIDS now. Welcome to the crew.
And he is just flailing Bibble around by the arm. Like, you hear the glass smashing on the walls of the corridor until shards of it are sticking out of Bibble's dead face as the body just slumps to the ground, killed.
Bibble, first of his name. Killed.
Pistol still in hand, but unfortunately useless. Rue, the other Akata is biting at you.
Okay, good.
Bites you for 4 more damage.
Perfect.
D1, you watch as just a small goblin is being strewn back and forth by a wild beast and murdered in front of you. Another one bites into Rue again. Lines of flame are spreading around the corridor, but seemingly doing nothing. Actually, I forgot to add the damage. If someone wants to do the honors of rolling a D8 for the trap damage that triggered the first sounds that
Guys,
gave
let me
Bibble.
do it.
Yes,
Do
please.
it. Do it.
Please.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
There you go.
Max damage.
Bibbles,
your icon changed.
Bibbles' last stand dealt 8 initial damage to the creature that just destroyed him. It is D1's turn now. Sorry.
I see Rue vomit all over his real nice clothes.
Yeah, his
From
sword
asteroid
just
splashes.
winks out of appearance.
It actually, in my eyes, it just goes like it
Mhm.
bends down, and then he goes, "Fuck! I need to save the day."
And you try to penetrate the mind of the mangled head of the Akata. You feel as if you did something, but maybe not as strongly as you would have hoped for. Roll damage.
Well, maybe it can fucking die.
So it should be half of that. 5. Oh, it already did half. Okay, perfect. And fucking die it does, as it just like freezes and then just falls over dead on the ground to some invisible wound inside its own mind.
Maybe you should vest in a stronger mind, you asshole. I'm gonna click the button again. It's gonna make the sound effect. I'm sorry.
Yeah, do it. For added effect.
Yeah.
Sweet Bibble, you are dead. Rue, the creature biting you just falls over dead, and you see D1 just glaring into its dead corpse, and you hear Bibble being smashed to bits behind you.
Okay. So if I use Supernova and I blow up right now, I get 1d6 for each Solarian level that I am, right?
Let's find out.
So that's 2d6?
Standard actually 1d6 fire damage plus 1d6 additional per Solarian level. So that's
So
3d6.
3d6.
Yeah.
Let me modify your dice on here.
So, and also let me clarify this, within a 10-foot radius? So do I need to move so I don't hit Richard? But I can't.
Within
Oh no!
all creatures within 10 feet of you.
Yeah, you
Creature
got this.
succeeds on the reflex takes half. Yeah.
So if I blow up like that, can I kind of just hit the creature?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right.
Just, you step forward
Yeah.
as Bibble's being just strewn about, and you're just like, your moat
I
covered
turn-
in your own vomit begins to glow around you. I don't know what color yours is, or absence of color.
Yeah, no, I get like super angry and I like cross my arms and I scream as loud as I can and I just blow up. Literally.
What is this
Alright, so
dark
you
magic I've
still
never
have
seen?
to roll the attack roll on him just to see if he reflexes at all.
I don't know
He
what that
fails. He fails completely, so it means he takes full damage.
Okay.
So go ahead and drop the damage on him.
Fuck.
And you just explode with 1,
Oh my
2,
God.
3, 6 damage.
God
And like is yours more of like a dark light or like more of a
Oh no,
sun?
it's definitely dark. It's definitely dark.
It's just like almost like a
supernova,
blackout. Yeah.
And like
so
the
just
lights flicker.
you, Bibble's corpse, and the Akata are all just engulfed in this absence of light. And as vision returns to the corridor, you see a much more injured Akata, still standing, still defying you. Richard, what are you doing?
Not feeling great. So, I guess I just kind of like walk up over here.
You're like,
I guess.
hey,
You're just like undulating
just like,
forward on your tentacles.
I'm a starfish.
And then I come to fucker. And then I say, Rue, excuse me. And I kind of like signal to Rue to fucking back away.
I move as much as I can.
Okay.
And then I just do my best to just. I did that to Bibble, but I was trying to do it to the Akata. Oh, sorry.
No,
I was trying
that's
to move
okay.
to where Akata was. I got him confused as to who was what. Anyways, so yeah.
Okay.
So I brushed Rue away a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just burned the hell of the.
Just fucking point blank burn him.
Yeah.
All right. Make the reflex save.
Oh, it's like the thing.
I mean the fortitude or the reflex?
Yeah, the fortitude. Sorry.
Wait, you push me completely out of the way. I don't want to be
No.
pushed
I
out of
just
the way.
kind of like
Just
brush
nudge.
you, like,
Just nudge.
like,
Okay.
yeah, I don't have the strength to do it.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
well.
You just squeeze through him, almost malforming yourself.
Oh.
And like you just like with one tentacle, two tentacles pressed strongly against the wall, you almost
Gross.
like shrink and like an octopus squeeze between Rue and the wall, and just plant yourself there as your other tentacled thing kind of just pulls on the flame pistol trigger, and there's just a blast of flame melting into the face of the cicada. If you could be so kind as to roll damage.
Okay, here comes the damage.
I hope you said that out loud. Okay.
3 minus 2.
Wow. Wow.
Where's the minus 2 come from?
From the
Sickness.
sickness, wildly flailing,
Fixing my gun.
wildly flailing around your pistol. You do a bit of damage to the Akata. It immediately
Minus 2.
nice too. It immediately lunges back at the initial assailant in Rue.
Yeah, I scream at it. I
Mhm.
scream at it.
Ah! Like a girl scream or like a man scream?
And it bites
Like-
into you.
I just burned you, you piece of shit. Scream.
Roll fortitude save. Doing great. D1.
Hello.
Can you please mind thrust this thing to death
Beep, boop, beep,
or
boop,
something?
beep, boop, beep. I can, and I will. Hey!
Its mind, much like the other Kata, seems alien and strange to you, but you still do some damage.
And then as I'm in his mind,
Mhm.
like, what are you here for? And it replies, we jump from planet to planet, consuming all natural resources, and then we kill the nuts.
We seek
I-
the unobtainium.
Yeah, die.
And it just like again mid bite of Rue, just freezes and falls back lifeless on the ground.
Puny, fleshy cake.
You are out of initiative, but down a Bibble. And down a Richard.
Sorry, Bill.
He died doing what he loved.
I
Getting-
just turn and I just look at the creature and I say, Richard, what?
I don't want to talk about it right now.
Don't look at him in the eyes.
Like, is it the same voice? It's the same, like,
it's
Oh, yeah.
hoarse and
Oh, so
haggard,
it'll
like when someone's been puking for like 2 days straight, but it does sound the same for the most part, yeah.
what? Are you a starfish?
Don't be racist, you fuck.
A ruby starfish.
Yeah. Can you like transform back into the man form, or are you stuck like this?
I do try and transform back into Richard.
Okay. Go ahead and make a
Fortitude save.
Fortitude save and try not to die.
What's it for to do?
Yeah, fortitude do this. Because I'm gonna roll between a 4 and a 2.
We're there, guys. We made it. Rock bottom. What did you get? It didn't show up on my thing.
Oh, am I rolling that? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
roll. Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Fortitude and 19.
Yeah, you
You
fortitude it.
you steal your resolve and reform into Richard. Let me just go ahead and do this.
You looked.
And I hope that like my Solarian power is really showing.
Yeah. Tell us about it. What does this look like?
Dude. Dick pounded.
Your armor, your Solarian armor
This
reforms.
is my new tagline. Dick pound, it's rock hard.
I like it.
Before he dies, put that on his tombstone.
He was rock hard.
Is that where you like scrape on your locker in your
Yeah.
whatever ship you're on?
With that locket, yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. 2 more dead space beasts surround you in the way presumably clear to the engineering bay. Bibble, sweet Bibble, lays dead, and you hear Phil6 kind of slowly creeping back towards you, looking concerned.
Is there anything on Bibble that I'm trying to like define him as Bibble, like something that maybe because Phil6 strikes me as the jealous type.
Yeah.
But I want to
I have an
take
idea.
like
Can I quickly turn into Bibble?
Before,
Wait, hold on.
Body?
yeah.
Before you do that, where was the camera that was following us from the Emperor guy? Did he see Richard turn into the starfish, Morty?
Yeah, you were all pretty jumbled together. It would have been focused on the main action, so yeah, probably.
Yeah,
would
probably.
think so.
Like I
You would
can
think so.
change that.
Oh, I don't know about that, but what's one thing at a time, Richard. Before Phil6 approaches, you want to shift into Bibble?
I think I hear him coming, yeah. I feel like Phil6 is not going to take this well, and he may not do what we want him to do. If his compatriot is
I
dead.
almost think the opposite. If you presented him with something from Bibble and said, "Hey, you're the new Bibble," I think
Richard's
he would
like
take that with pride.
shifting forms, like while proposing ideas and arguably vomiting at times in between.
and then Rue, are you telling me to not do that?
I don't
'Cause-
say anything because I don't know what you can or cannot do.
That's true.
You're a starfish.
As I'm vomiting, I turn into
Do you hold the
Bibble.
form or do you stay Bibble?
yeah, because I didn't. That was my initial thought.
Okay.
Well, dude, that's totally so sweet.
Was the initial goblin that was there in the
You're still there.
was it blown apart though? Because it was in the middle of the trap when it blew up. So I guess my question is, could Bibble's body be
Recognizable.
misidentified as the original goblin body?
It's definitely goblin size and wearing the same flight suit and weird, funny, old school helmet, but it's pretty brutalized and shredded up.
Okay. I mean, I don't do any Brew doesn't know anything that's happening right now. He doesn't know what Richard can or cannot do, so he's just
Okay.
kind of like, what is
All right.
happening?
And
This
Richard
hat.
takes his pistol
Go.
off of
Yeah.
dead Bibble, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. You pick up the
D1
pistol.
unit.
D1.
D1 smells what Richard is stepping in, and he stands in the way of the corpse.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And he blocks sight of it.
Phil6 is kind of approaching slowly. He's been like
Phil6.
terrified this whole time. He's like,
What happened?
I'm walking to Phil6 like fiddlesticks from
Yeah.
from League, and I said, Phil6, did you see Big Boom?
Big boom and more creatures like before.
Big guy gave me gun. We shot him.
Are we leaving now? Are they taking us with them?
what you want to do, Phil Six?
Phil's not want to stay here with those things. Everywhere. They were everywhere.
Yes. Yes, I agree, Phil Six. And then I come back to the group.
He kind of pulls you close for a moment.
Yeah.
As we stick with them. Maybe we get out of here, yeah.
Yeah?
That,
Oh.
we still not know who stole our ship. Yeah?
Oh, there it is.
We need to get off of this thing or we die, Pibble.
Yes.
Yes.
I wonder if the miners stole this ship.
Okay.
And he kind of
I
starts
can't-
walking forward back to the group with Bibble.
Hey, you guys, come this way. Over here, and like dangling keys in front of Phil Six. I'm like, hey, check this out. Look how shiny. Yeah, come over here.
Yeah.
Through the doors, buddy.
Oh.
Okay. Richard Bibble, what are you doing?
Richard Bibble.
I come over here and I say, I've made a huge mistake.
Listen, Richard Bibble, I don't know what you are, but if you turn back into Richard, maybe what's happening? If you turn whatever you were, if you turned into that, maybe Fiddlesticks will think he's going crazy, or
I turn to the nutsack that is an Astrazone, and I said, like this?
I kind of like look away for a second, like at Bibble, like wait, like the actual Bibble,
Yeah.
like kind of like look behind me, like what is he?
Okay, then I go back into Richard just for
Okay.
everybody's sake.
All right. You go back into Richard form.
How do you transform? Is it like a
Yeah,
poof
what's it
with
look
like smoke?
No, it's like things kind of crawling upon each other to like folding upon each other to, and then like an octopus, how it changes
All right.
into that camouflage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there's definitely an intermixed amount of vomiting in your current condition. Oh man. All right. And Bibble's body is still, joined with the Akata behind Rue here.
Can that
I
be
mean-
our tavern name in the future? Bibble's
What?
body.
Richard Bibble? Oh, Bibble's
No,
body.
Bibble's body.
I just look at Richard like this, like that. I just look at him like
Checks out.
You look like you've seen a ghost, Rue. Welcome to space and space aids.
It's like dribbles of weird toxic purple vomit on your weird face.
and I just kind of like raise a fist, like less than half-heartedly, and just kind of give you like the lamest fist bump that has ever.
It's squishy.
like, eh.
Rue questions if it's the space aid that lets him transform, and he tries.
Yeah, like I kind of like check my own temperature and put my like.
Your skin is notably crawling at times still, and the hot flashes come and go. Your skin's not distorting anywhere near the level that you just saw Richard's, but it's definitely in an abnormal state right now.
I don't like it.
Now, should
Listen,
I say
Richard.
to Rue? Oh yeah.
Richard, I think. You know what? Don't take this the wrong way, but fuck those fucking explorers, and let's just go like get rid of these space aids before we try to.
Okay. Well,
Before,
I agree.
Before.
Let me just, and I come over here and I'm listening and I said, let me just do this really quick first. And I grab this Bibble's arm and I drag his limp dead body across the floor, and I
There's
place
blood.
him inside this I caught his mouth, and I put him in a pose that makes him look righteous and strong, like he went out like with his best. And I make it so like I pose it so his got a knife in the thing's eye or something like that, so it feels like he died going out. You know, like they killed each other.
Yeah.
I'm
And
still
then-
too shocked to even comprehend what you're doing.
I chip a few more teeth, or try and knock a few more teeth out. Maybe
Are you
like 5.
are you gonna like make a trap or what are you? Why
I
the
don't
teeth?
know
Don't
yet.
question him. He's a starfish.
You're
I don't know. I'm
you're-
fascinated by these goddamn things. Look what
Listen.
it did to my arm.
All I know is that you're a starfish, and I feel like I should call you Patrick or something.
Richard Patrick.
With rolls like these.
Right, you're imagine this is on its side, like in a pose like this with Bibble stuffed into his mouth, like his big domed helmet just like inside the maw of the creature, with like a fairly heroic pose as if he was like kind of like wrestling and fighting with the thing. And there he lay. There he lay.
Let's get out of here.
Okay. Yeah, should we power on the ship at least? Since we've worked this hard, we might as well
I think
explore.
we gotta get it there. Yeah.
Both Rue and Richard realize that the D1 unit has been missing for some time. You hear the all
The
too
lights just
familiar sound of ting 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 ting.
I look at him. Fuck D1.
No, I think D1 is fucking something.
I know. But I run anyways. 'Cause I'm wondering what he's fucking.
I'm fucking it hard. You hear like grinding noises. Yeah, Geiger counters.
I just saw him natural 20 that device.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
The
Your
laser
face
sounds.
hard.
By the time you get there, you approach the engine room and there's just like a like it's good for you you've got your sunglasses on, Rue, because the giant blue glow as energy surges back up through the power core, and almost like a fucking nightclub, like the
Oh my
Fusion
God.
Queen, there's glowing lights coming from both open doors leading to the engineering dock.
You hear on the PA
D1
system,
Yeah,
like, hey guys.
you are in.
There's like chainsaw noises in the background.
There is indeed a rear airlock behind you as well.
I know this.
But the systems are fully capable of being back online and in your control. If you want to restore gravity, if you want to repressurize the vessel, you may do so.
Let's do the things.
Wait. Listen, my only thought, and Rue kind of looks down because he just got assaulted so many times. So many times. Listen, you've restored power. I don't want to awaken the little monstrosities in the starboard side. Maybe we just leave things as they are. The crew obviously is not on the ship. Like, I kind of like, as I say that, I look around to see if there's any dead bodies around here. Are there any dead bodies?
There are not.
I have a surprise for you.
I-
They've taken shelter on the meteor, and we could explore the meteor to find them, probably.
I just like look at him like, so we didn't need to restore power?
No, watch this, and then I attempt to lock down the ventilation system in that room, and like close the hatches and the door, and then I start pumping cold into that room.
Okay.
Let me computers the shit out of this. Come
Were
on,
we,
baby.
Were we already?
God damn it.
Like, I feel like you're like, hey, watch this.
Like
and
the
it-
screens
and-
all go to like immediate lockout, immediate lockout.
Yeah. It's just static.
Yeah, right. It's even worse. It blue screens.
I think I gave her too much.
I don't
This-
know what you did, but perhaps leaving things as they are is fine, and we should just leave.
I think we're past that point. Let's use our ears. And then I listen. Everything's quiet and we listen.
I just like I take a second and listen, and then I'm like, fuck it. And is there any like cargo in this particular area that would maybe be worthwhile to go through?
You look around. You do see. I mean, like being an engineering kind of like hangar slash workroom. You see a number of things. You see what is considered a different kind of currency in this game called UPB.
Grab
Oh.
all of them.
Yeah. So basically, you get enough of that random tech pieces junk. You can craft lots of interesting stuff out of it. So it's kind of like a universal polymer. Like imagine you can like 3D print and sort of kit bash equipment in a similar way, but instead of credits you use UPB. So there's about
What's
300 units of that. Um, I'm just gonna put that into the group currency. You also spot, obviously, there's only one fully intact shell of this material that does still look fairly valuable. One of them is intact enough that you could potentially consider it something worth value. There's a long-armed, two-handed gun of some kind. It is. You've probably seen it before. It's an arc emitter, a
Oh.
tactical unit. There's that, along with an attached battery, also in the party inventory here.
Sounds
Okay.
right up Richard's alley.
So many
Uh,
things.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the place looks like a mess. You can't tell if it's from them scrambling or from the Akata that were in here lurking around. But in either case, you have the controls to manipulate the ship's functions. However, D1, it's clear to you that whatever Absalom did to quarantine this vessel would prevent it from actually flying through space at this point.
Okay.
I get on the comm system so I could talk to Richard and Rue
Okay.
personally over space. Maybe we could get on our ship and do the old college go flyby and see if there's any survivors, and then if not, get the fuck out and cure your space aids.
Listen, I don't feel very good, and I think maybe. I mean, we should find the people, but if the people are in danger, we're not gonna be able to really help them that much. I don't like space aids.
That's a very valiant statement. Let's get on our ship.
Valiant? Wait. There's still passengers here, though, right?
I mean, they're on the space rock.
I believe them to be on the rock, correct?
But listen, I need to
We can
sleep
come
for
back.
like a
We can
really
come back
long
to them.
time, and I need to make 2 very good rolls, and then we should be.
This might make you feel better. Episode 2. We'll do it in episode 2, okay? Because I don't feel good either. Good. Just say.
I too like episode 2.
I'm having trouble understanding you two.
Episode 2. Oh.
Like your space helmet like fills up to your mouth with puke.
Listen,
All right.
start. Okay.
I will pilot the ship back. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
We have lots of data we can manipulate and feed to whatever sources we like.
All right. As you head towards the airlock, what are you doing with Phil6? He clearly notices the scene that you've arranged in the corridor as you begin to leave the engineering bay, and just freezes in his tracks and says,
Bipper?
Philsis, listen. I think Bibble fought very bravely.
I just spoke to Bibble.
He
No,
must have died.
no, Bibble has been dead. He died attacking the creature, and he was very brave.
Good buddy, Bailey.
Listen, you should go at least take his helmet, yeah? You're Phil Six, you're the new Bibble.
Bibble,
And
you get to make the booms now.
You're the new boom maker.
I want to lean over to Rue and say, "Do you not like Grimlaws?"
I don't know what a Grimlaw is.
Phil
You
Six,
never heard of the term Grimlying?
No, not from where I'm from.
Let me download some data
You,
into you. It's a huge liability, and we should kick him out of the airlock and kill him as soon as possible.
But what if we made him very smart?
Yeah, what
And-
if we just murdered him instead?
you hear Phil Six grumble about how something about Phil Six never got to make the booms.
Listen, Phil
And
Six,
he,
we
he,
can't.
he approaches the body and just sort of touches Bibble tenderly, you could say, and tries to take the helmet off that's been carefully pried in there, but does manage to kind of get it free, and he holds it at his side in a sort of classic astronaut holding his helmet at the side kind of pose.
D1 walks up to Phil Sticks and he puts his arm on his shoulder. Look, buddy, have you ever heard the legend of Gra before? As in coup de grace? As in, just come with us, you piece of shit. You know we're gonna keep you. Let's go.
Hold on one sec. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point I would say we just ship.
All right, you start heading back to the ship, and we will just wait for Richard, unless he can hear us.
I don't think he can.
Sounds like no.
Oh, he's doing family things.
Yeah, it's
Man, we got a Phil Sticks. He's a liability plus 20 right now. We can't leave.
hey, listen, I'm pretty sure he'll probably die probably pretty soon, but we can't leave him on the ship. We should
Well, yeah,
at
we
least-
can't leave him here. That's the big thing.
Yeah, we should at least maybe if we find his ship drifting through space and time, and we can just put him on that and just say goodbye, or maybe there's a transport unit on our transport unit, like a micro transport unit,
A transport unit.
and then we could put him on that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind having a sidekick. I bet the fucking miners got off the rock and they stole the goblin ship.
Yeah, but we won't know until we look for it, and we won't look for it until I rest for a very long time, because I don't feel so good.
Yes, you need your ritual 48 hours beauty rest.
Yes. I don't. While we wait, we might as well do another vlog entry.
there you go.
Here.
Let's hear it.
Cameras, lights, cameras. Oh God. We've-
Where's the other camera?
Shh. D1CK.
It's following you guys right now.
We have cleared most of the ship. Well, there are fresh bodies that we have killed, and the camera pans over, and I would imagine it would even replay the us absolute murderizing and the trap blowing up kind of thing, if this were edited together. We fought them, and we've killed them. For anyone else who enters the ship, there are 2 egg pods there, and I point, the camera kind of turns and looks down the corridor. Don't open those doors. We marked it with a nice laser beam of death. Be very careful. Now we must search the asteroid, the drift rock, but before that, I fully plan on sleeping a very, very long time. This is Rue, signing out.
And then just as he says that, in the background, I say "Dude, what's wrong? It looks like you have the shits." And then
Oh, God.
and then it cuts out.
You just hear, "Oh God," and then it clicks. I say clicks, but really the whole thing is just recording everything that we do at this point. So
Yeah, getting that coverage.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Well, I
I'll
just
do a
wanna-
blog entry.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Fill
I,
that airtime.
Walk back to the core. But D1 puts his camera down on the ground, so it's a nice low shot looking up.
Oh
onto
yeah,
him.
yeah. Really getting a nice backdrop here.
We had some good times, baby. And I put my hand up on the core and I start rubbing it. And the core lights up just a little bit in jubilation and kind of strobes a little bit. I know the camera zooms in. I know it was only a brief moment that we were together, but I really felt something when my USB was driving hard into your receptacle and we switched datas. My 56K bod
The lights are
was so
flickering.
was so hard for you, but now I must go. I hope. Yeah, the lights dim a little bit when I say I must go. I hope you remember me in the future. I would like to return one day, and maybe I could blow my data all over your dashboard once again. Exactly.
The blue lights flicker in unison with the sounds.
Here is a little something to remember me by, and then I I copy the video of me banging my Nat 20 in the back, and I upload it to her. It was fun. I'll see you later. And then I walk away.
Perfect. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So beyond that, you collect yourselves and start heading towards I believe you said the port side. Where
Yeah,
you,
where our ship
Yeah,
is.
where our ship is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, my meatballs. Let's get onto this ship so I can take care of you.
Yeah, I get on the ship.
As you approach the airlock, the one thing that's very clear to you is that your ship has left. And it is
Fuck!
floating
God damn
away
it!
on a course that looks to be heading towards Absalom Station.
Wait.
Are
How
the
far
engines
away
on?
is it?
Yeah,
It
are
is
the
not.
engines
It
on?
is not very far away.
Yeah, like without even thinking, I just like use the thrusters from my pack
I had a pee bed.
and just
Oh
jump.
no!
I just jump out after it.
Okay.
Dude, our ship is either drifting. Are the engines on, or is it drifting?
Yeah. It appears to be
That-
drifting away.
Oh, the engines. Okay, so the engines
Yeah.
are on. Just to be clear,
It's on. It is
Is
on.
that goblin? Did that goblin go away from us, or is he
The
The
still
goblin's
with us?
still here.
the engines are on.
Rue,
I jump out after it.
you leap
Rue,
up
no, wait.
after it in an attempt to spacewalk, and it's clear to all of you behind Rue that he doesn't have a chance in hell to catch up to it. But Rue, I'd like you to make as this ship kind of like lifts to the side and starts to path a course towards the winking lights of the armada surrounding the station. Make a perception check.
You perceive you're fucked.
I mean, I want to reach out and try and stop him,
I know. Like, do we have like rope?
Yeah.
Can we intervene?
but I don't know.
Both of you can make a reflex save.
Okay.
I would love to.
I mean, tell me what I perceive before they try to
Yeah,
stop me.
You're
well-
perceiving it as we're pulling you in.
I mean, you're
We're
like
trying to.
doing the classic like wah, like
Oh!
jump for it. You go floating out towards the back of the ship. It kind of turns around enough for you to see into like the front of the shuttle, and you notice that there is no one driving the shuttle. D1,
it's
D1
autopilot.
tries to react. Richard tries to react, but also has to make a
Those
fortitude save
mother-
first.
Yep.
Fuckers.
It's the guy, the high up guy. We put his shit on our ship and he's pulling it back.
Those
He
motherfuckers.
double crossed us. He's stranding us.
Richard, could you fortitude and then
I mean-
reflex me?
You're jumping to conclusions.
It's a
Yeah.
jump.
Damn good conclusions.
Yeah.
We have no idea if that's-
Fortitude's good.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
That's what the spray paint can believes.
No.
What am I doing?
No.
Reflex. As
Why-
you see
listen-
Rue dangerously floating away.
He jumped
but
into space.
he jumped
You
into
say
space.
that.
You're trying to. Yeah, hold on. You try to grab at him. Use a reflex save here.
Okay. Let me put this in my bar. I do not have this one. And I should. Yeah.
Oh.
And you miss.
I tried.
And Rue, you're kind of just like floating in the beautiful but lonely space atmosphere between one ship and the next, and you're just floating there, slowly drifting towards the trailing ship.
D1.
Yeah. I rolled an 18 on perception. Do I perceive if I can catch the ship?
You know that you can't catch the ship.
Okay, then I'm not gonna pursue it.
Okay.
And also, don't jump to
escape
conclusions
pods?
about what's happening because the same thing happened to the goblin ship. So by saying that the undead guy is responsible for it is
No. I'm not saying the undead guy. I'm saying that there's these two big companies who sent us on a mission with their ship on their dime, on their time to get their information, which they just got.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. I
Everything
totally
out
agree with
of.
that. Yeah,
And
yeah.
now-
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
And they don't want everybody else to find out their actual conclusion. They know the end of the trial. They know what they want.
Who,
We were just pawns in their game.
whose ship were we on? Who gave us the ship?
The
The
astral
shuttle?
distractions. Yeah.
The shuttle was part of the ambassador, but he also
Yeah.
made it very clear that the shuttle belonged to the station and that they were loaning it to you to send you on your
Oh.
mission.
So, D1CK, if the ship is fully operational at this point, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
Can we move the ship?
That is the one catch, is that whatever they did to quarantine this vessel,
That's right. Maury said that.
flight
Highly
flight capacity is not something it has, but you can make it inhabitable in the meantime.
Okay, so how close is the drift rock at this point? Since
It's
we're
still
getting fucked
towed
here.
behind us, right?
Still towed behind the ship.
Yeah, it's towed. How far away? Can we jump to it?
Yeah,
Like,
you could.
is
you
it
could,
something you
could
need a ship
spacewalk
for?
to it or use the
Just
tow
like cables. Yeah.
but you would be in the vacuum of space. Yes.
So, I propose we rest here, I guess, since we're fucked.
There's one last thing I need to do, and then I check this door. I open the door.
Oh, the southern door?
Uh-huh.
Or the starboard?
Okay. You go down there. I mean, you know it opens to the other starboard airlock. You have access
Nothing
to
in
it.
there?
You can open it. Nope.
Okay. All right, I'm back, guys.
Now, didn't you say in that room there was like something interesting? This room here, with some bad guys and some what'd you say, beakers or some shit?
No.
Oh, there was a
Spaces?
science kid.
There was there were flammable things.
There's
There
flammable
was
things.
another-
You also notice like a little workstation, look like a miniature lab almost.
A lab. That was the word you used to describe it.
Yeah.
Do we know enough about this particular space AIDS disease that a lab of whatever caliber Rue saw
Yeah, whatever I saw.
would be
Ooh.
beneficial?
I have a suggestion.
Would Rue know this? I guess would be the only one who.
You I mean, like if you're all conferring and going over this stuff.
Yeah.
D1, you feel strongly enough at this point that your various injection methods serve to give your patients a bit of a better fighting chance the next time they make a proper track check on their diseases. You don't believe any additional time at like a little workstation would help you now, but certainly would
Okay.
have been another viable path to a similar result.
I have another suggestion. Perhaps we could try cutting some of the discarded cocoons, and then if we are successful, we could cut down the cocoons in that room and kick them out into space.
I mean,
like this.
listen, you're talking about the room on the starboard side, yeah? The storage
Yeah.
room?
Yeah.
When I walked in there, it was like they were alive, looking at me.
Oh,
It was like they could see me and perceive what I was doing. And I
okay.
was very careful and cautious, but they're waiting like an ambush.
I don't like that at all.
Perhaps if we just leave it alone and we just sleep here, maybe?
Do we still have the trap in the ventilation?
We do.
Yeah.
No, it did go off.
Oh, it did?
I missed. Yeah, I didn't stick the landing on the description there, but that's why that one came in a bit injured and why Bibble had heard noises and turned that direction.
Gotcha.
Well, there's no place. Well, I guess we could barricade our. Well, the ventilation shafts go everywhere. We can't. I can stay awake. I don't need to sleep. I can guard.
I mean, we should probably hole up in one room, yeah?
Let's go. Let's go to the cockpit, and you guys can sleep in there.
Not
We'll
the
sleep-
cockpit. Not the cockpit. Let's go to the room that Bibble and Phil Six was
hiding
in.
in.
Yeah.
It was
If-
like down here, right?
No, it was up. It was here.
On this side of the
Okay.
room, though. Yeah.
If we went here, they at least survived for a little while. So we stand a chance. Maybe if we just lock it in and just be very quiet.
Yeah, for sure. And like
Yeah.
I can just guard. I don't think I need to sleep as a robot.
You allowing Phil Six to join you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And is there a vent in this room?
Just a small one.
Like small, so small that a creature of that size.
You'd think it would
Could
have
not fit
a harder time, yeah. The larger one was in the galley and like the galley in the corridor, like out this
Okay.
way.
Rue, if we pulled one of the panels off of the walls and you used your lightsaber stick, could you like melt it up over the grate?
I don't know if it's hot enough, but I could try.
You could probably do a small amount of work in that regard,
Yeah.
but nothing's too substantial.
Yeah, I would not feel well enough to the task of doing
okay.
something too substantial. I'll attempt to
Yeah,
do like
you
a
can
little
slightly
bit.
reinforce it, but
Yeah, I'll do that.
all right. Okay. So you're gonna take a long rest.
Oh yeah. Like Rue does that, and then he just immediately like crashes on. He just takes a bed, just assuming that he deserves a bed. That's terrible, but
I sit on the table and I appear to go into hibernation mode and I plug myself into the wall.
That pistol that I have in my pocket,
Yeah.
that I don't know much about.
Got pocket pistol.
It's empty chambers. The sound of spinning the chambers helps me fall asleep sometimes.
Aww.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
can you cut down the racket, please?
Do a little.
I don't even hear it. My zen.
Well,
Would you like me to play some white noise for you to try and sleep, Rue?
all right. Oh gosh. God no.
I will murder you in your sleep.
All right. You have a tough time falling asleep initially, but eventually the exhaustion just kicks in and you're down for the count. D1. A lot of time passes when you're alone, and eventually Phil Six is also just kind of passed out, despite how alert and nervous he was with adrenaline. it's just you for a little while now, plugged into the wall. The thrum of energy in a ship that's now had its power restored is arguably something you find comfort in, or
Oh yeah,
pleasure
erotic
with.
even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pleasure. And you're kind of just like almost in a meditative trance during your watch through all of this. I'd like you to make a perception check.
Hey baby, how's it going? It's me. I just wanted you to know that I'm still here. I'm not sleeping, even if I look like it.
Being in tune with the sounds and the hum of the ship, you allow your fellow travelers and starfinders here to rest with comfort, confidently knowing that nothing seems to be disturbed or coming towards you on this night. Everyone, I'm going to do a little full rest trigger. Now, Richard, we'll start with you, patient zero.
Uh-oh.
You, with between the rest and the saline coursing through your asshole, I'd like you to put a +4 on your fortitude
Okay.
saving throw that you're
Oh,
about to roll.
that's so kind. Okay.
It's the nacho roll.
Okay.
Hey, what's 4 plus 2 again?
That's a +2.
So can I roll this dice on me because I assume it's gonna hurt me?
No, it would just be in the chat.
No,
Just
you're right. Didn't work.
you just gotta beat a 10.
Good luck, my fleshy guys. Oh, you beat the shit out of it. You beat it by double.
Not that I want to ruin your artwork here, but I need to see. Let's see, you're back to here.
Hey, a couple of your spots.
Came with me. I lost some of them. I shot some of them out of me.
Looks like
Alright,
you're feeling
Rue,
better, buddy.
similarly, I need you to, with a +4, roll your fortitude save.
I hope.
That's 4 to 2.
I hope Rue catches this on camera. The way I get better is by taking that flamethrower and turning on really lightly to singe the arm. And I hope that gets put on camera.
So the
Smells like burnt hair.
The good news about this particular disease not having a latent state is that means you skip it on both directions down the track. Rue, you wake up not feeling amazing, but feeling as if the symptoms are leaving your body.
I
Skin is
wake
no
up
longer
hungry.
Crawling. Yeah, like you
Kitchen's
almost
right
like have a
there.
hangover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So now, just to be clear, in a healthy state, you don't have any of the symptoms. You're still carrying the disease until you make 2 checks in a
Two
row.
more?
No, he has
Additional?
to make 2
Oh god,
checks,
dude.
2 days worth of healthy checks, basically. So like,
stupid.
so there's at the end
Jeez,
of
dude.
at the end of each day, that's like the one that counts towards like your actual full recovery.
So if we keep taking saline shots, do we get that +4?
I'm into it. Yeah.
Listen,
Talk to your medical bot.
D1CK, I hate
He's still got a half tub in the kitchen you're heading towards right now.
admitting this, but I think that whatever salt saline shit you did,
I hope he's already like shoving it in
D1.
his ass.
Like, just
D1.
bends over, like, let's get it over with.
D1, can you hear me? You're like really plugged into the wall there. It's like you weren't even there.
Don't interrupt me when I'm interfacing.
You're like dry humping the air.
Yeah. I pull out of my translate state.
Listen, I hate to admit this, but that saline solution, I think it helped maybe a little bit. If
You
I
ready?
he-
You ready
If
to
I-
go between the mountains, buddy?
No, you're not going between the mountains, but you can inject it in my arm again, like you did before. Here, let me heat it up for you.
And then I
Alright. Just gonna do do some terrible hatch marks here. Hold on.
Are you
Just so I
sure you don't
remember.
want it between the mountains? I think it really helped.
Nope. I don't. Nope. Don't need that. Nope.
Gucci goo.
Alright.
Don't ever say that to me again.
So, you take another day of injections from your D1 unit. You've managed to get some rest here on the Acreon, and your ship, along with the ambassador's cargo that you boarded onto it ahead of time, has left. It's just you, the mining vessel, and its luggage at this point.
I
The
mean,
drift rock.
so first of all, I know we should explore the drift rock, and that's a great idea. But should we try to find a way to communicate with Absalon Station? At least tell them what's happened.
Actually, on that point, is the ambassador's camera still with us?
It is.
So we
Then-
can talk to him.
Well, I assume that it also jumped out. I mean, like when I jumped out, it was recording the action.
It was.
Like it saw the ship leaving on its
Mhm.
own, and it saw that no one was in it.
We can also infer that it wasn't the ambassador if he left his camera with him, because that would be super incriminating
Yeah.
if he died up here.
I can say
So-
I'm glad that you bought a bunch of your own cameras.
It's all the cameras.
All right, so how do you want to play this? Do you want to talk to the ambassador and see what the shit's up?
Well, the thing is just recording. I don't know if it's like a communication device. I don't know if it's like a live feed.
No, you had talked about this with him before. It was making a local recording that would be uploaded to them when you return to the station.
Okay.
So it could potentially still be incriminating
Yeah.
if the bot happened to die or has a self-destruct button or something.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Let's keep him with us for now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, because like if it wasn't him, then we have some good footage, and if it was him, then we can use it against him.
Yes, I
Yep.
agree.
Okay.
So-
Maybe we should find a way to communicate with Absalon somehow.
Yes. Yeah, we should do that.
All right, I wanna D1's gonna go interface with the cockpit.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go turn. Let's get in touch.
Let's turn it on, if you know what I mean.
Oh god. Avert your eyes, everybody.
I'm so excited. I thought this was our last night here, but it turns out we're stuck. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Oh baby, I missed you so much.
So what exactly are you trying to do, T1?
I want to see if I can communicate with Absalon from our spaceship.
Okay. Beyond the Armada, almost think about like carrier pigeons. Any message you send is going to have a bit of a delay that grows exponentially the further you go out into the vastness of space. So you can send a message. It might be a day or so before it actually gets to where you're sending it.
Send the ship back, dickholes.
Yeah, I'm sending a message to the Armada.
Okay.
Ship left quarantine zone, is unauthorized to do so. Very suspicious. Treat as hostile,
Tell them not to blow it up.
but don't blow it up because it's incredibly valuable.
Okay.
And tell them to alert the undead guy, whatever his name was. What was his name?
I believe
Hell
his
if I
name
know
was
right now.
Juicy. No.
Yeah.
So what, the ambassador?
Give,
His Excellency?
Nor. Tell them
Yeah.
to.
Gevalask,
Yeah.
no.
Inform Gevalask Nor that the ship has retreated, and hit the. We need like a code word. We need like a. The parcel is intact, but not with us.
Just say he's on the ship.
The ship has your fucking briefcase.
Just say the the ship is loaded.
Like we're all chiming in. Yeah.
And that's what.
But it's
that's
on
the
its
message-
way.
That's
Yeah.
the message you sent.
Before I send it, I'm like, guys, would you like to maybe spell check my email?
Would you like to listen to your message again? And we listen to it, and it's like all of us talking over each other. Perhaps we should re-record it. Here, let me say all the things, and
Make an
I-
intelligence check.
okay.
For
Oh no,
For
we're so
Rue.
dumb.
I'm really just so intelligent.
There we go. Okay.
So the one thing that, as you heard it play back, was evidently clear is that you're saying a lot of jarbled ideas, and in Rue's mind, there are two distinct ships. In the message you just heard, you just mentioned abstractly the ship, the ship, the ship, the ship, but never actually
Yep.
specify which ship
Okay.
you're
Oh, the
speaking
hippocampus.
about.
Yes. We should re-record it. The hippocampus.
I hit the delete button and then the play
Yeah.
the record
But with the
button.
same passion.
Yeah.
The hippocampus.
Guys, guys.
Run it
has
again.
The hippocampus has left with unauthorized access from the Acreon and appears to potentially be returning to Absalon Station. It is absolutely critical that the hippocampus is retrieved. Please talk and consult with Gelvalarsk Nor,
Oh, nice.
whose interest is directly linked with the hippocampus. Please also send another ship.
I
back to
butt in over
retrieve
there. I
us.
said it's not a goddamn shit before you regret something, motherfuckers.
P.S. We're stranded and I'm fucking this ship.
And, yeah,
Quite
he's fucking the
literally,
hell out of this shit.
unfortunately, and you just hear the tink tink.
Okay. Your message sends. You
Goodbye,
can
sweet message.
you can at any time check to look for a response. But just based on your knowledge, you expect it's probably going to be at least a half a day, maybe more, before they even get your message.
Do we have email notifications in space?
You would while you were on the ship here, yeah, sure.
Does it
Anyone
count
could-
if we're on the meteor?
I mean, we have personal comm devices, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah. No, I mean, unfortunately, you'd only be able to access any messages back to the Acreon while on the Acreon.
What if I leave my comms device on the ship? Is
Like
that a
hot
thing?
wired it into
Yeah.
the ship itself.
So
I
like
mean,
they
yeah,
wouldn't be able to
but
communicate.
right now your comms are operating on a local network within the ship. As soon as you leave, you notice that the signals are not strong at all, especially
Okay.
beyond the walls of the ship.
Well, boys, how about we go spacewalk on these tethers and see what's on the meteor to kill some time?
Well, we could go out at least on the meteor and then return and check whatever notification since it'll take some time. Yeah?
Totally.
Do whatever you
All right,
want.
let's do that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so we'll make our way to the aft part of the ship.
Damn, you know your nauticals.
Mm.
You know your way around that caboose, huh?
The old caboose, the train terminology, the caboose of the ship.
Okay. You go to the valley between the rear mountains, the 4 rear thrusters, and past the hum of the power core,
I never thought you would let me hear ship.
and you look out and see the fairly large drift rock in tow, just wired up behind the Acreon. It appears to be about several thousand feet in diameter, and it's just a big rock.
How are they tethered to the ship? Like
Can we-
how
Yeah.
Large tow cables, several of them.
are they like shot into the rock?
They are, yeah. They appear to be like professionally with some sort of like engineering equipment or mining equipment. They're like tethered and latched in pretty well. Again, like they pulled this thing through the plane of the drift and then back out again. You could surmise.
How do the engines on our ship look?
In what regard? What do you mean?
Like the rockets, are they all intact? Are they damaged at all, or
On the ship
they...
on the Acreon?
Yeah, like we're in the aft part of the back
Yeah,
part, right? And we can see
yeah.
these big giant engines in the back.
I mean, they're not the best shape you've ever seen, but they seem otherwise like normal.
Okay. All right. Well,
From where I'm standing, is there any indication of like a spot where, I mean, I don't know how far
Yeah.
away we are because you said we could spacewalk, so I don't know like how
Yeah.
much I can see.
No, you could see.
I want to know if there's any life
Okay.
or ships or something, some kind of indication that the crew actually abandoned the Acreon and landed on the asteroid.
Gotcha.
Like, where would that be, kind of thing?
So you can see. Give me 1 second just to load something up here.
I wonder what color the asteroid is. I wonder if it's made out of the same shit that these monsters come out of, like the cocoons.
Sounds
like
like
one
someone
giant monster.
with some equipment and a life science check could do some scans about.
Can I support the life science check?
Well, you would probably be the one to make it.
I think you are the life science check, bud.
Sorry,
The
I
life
was
science officer.
totally distracted being between the mountains.
I can answer that a little more easily than I can the first question, which I'll get to in a second. But when you scan the rock, you notice that it's entirely made of just rock and metal in terms of like materials that come up in your scan. There is a noticeable something interfering with your signals when you try to scan it or anything beyond the ship for that matter. Whether it's the rock or the quarantine, you don't know. Beyond that, when you, Rue, are peering out the aft towards the rock, you notice that there's some sort of rocky overhang on the drift rock facing back at you, as if to indicate, like, from the moonlight hitting it or the starlight, that there is some kind of tunnel or crevice within the rock itself. Hard to say exactly from this distance, but you can see enough that you notice this.
There's some sort of rock or crevice or tunnel or something. Maybe we should go explore it?
I have a question for Richard.
If only he were here with us. I think he's still... I don't know what he's doing.
I don't see the map.
Richard, where are you?
I don't have the map.
Richard. It's like I can't hear him.
Hello?
I hear.
I hear him.
Hello. I hear.
No, I know, I can
Oh,
hear
you're
him.
poking
Oh, there we
fun.
go.
I have a
He's
question.
just behind all my shit.
I assume he's here with.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. You appear to not be from these parts, as you are at least part starfish. Does any of this seem familiar to you in any ways?
I mean, I know I'm a starfish and all, but I'm pretty much a human.
A human starfish.
Like, I would have seen things that a human would have seen. And
Okay.
no, I have not.
All right, let's go on an adventure. And then I walk right up and I dangle my little tiny toes over the thing.
I mean, Fiddy, I guess I can ask the DM from the past we've even talked about if anything in here would be familiar, or if anything we talked about would be familiar.
I don't know where your people are from, so I don't know if this asteroid has any kind of characteristics.
Oh.
Things
No,
that
no.
like, right?
Right.
No, I mean, from what you know, Richard, a lot of your roots were where you came from on Aposte. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing with Phil 6 here? You're all gonna spacewalk over to the rock?
We're going to space, Rockville 6. And then
Oh,
that's all
can
I
I
say.
Can I explain? I'm gonna explain it to him. Look, buddy, we're pretty much fucked. We're stranded in here, and then I put my hand on his shoulder, both hands up, both his shoulders. You can either stay here and just basically masturbate for like a whole day, or you can come with us and have fun. It's gonna be pretty fun.
Wait.
What you want to do?
Kind of mulling it over.
Good choice. Come with us. And then I grab him by the hand and I pull him over to the door.
I have a question for the DM.
Sure.
Would I know about starfish on Aposte, since I am a native of Aposte? Is that a thing that I would see?
They are fairly fucking rare, but you would definitely want to make a culture check.
Oh man,
Okay.
cult him. Culture the shit out of him.
Not good at that.
Fuck yeah, you're good at it. What are you talking about?
You are unaware of any creatures like that.
Not good enough.
Nothing you've ever heard of.
I needed like an 18.
Need like
At
a
least.
20, like a 20.
Uh,
Not a natural 20, but a 20.
Okay.
Richard, before we launch ourselves into the black void of space, do you have anything that could help us get from here to the meteor, besides just hanging on to these wires?
I jump out.
I mean, all of your
I take the can.
Airbody Arms Limited
Yeah, I jump out.
suits include some flight zero
I take the
gravity flight
can.
capabilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take the can with me because I have a contingency plan if these goddamn suits don't work just like that ship.
Yeah, I've already jumped out.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Grab the
this
can
is
and go.
this is. Wait a minute. We need.
Phil Six is kind of like
to-
looking frantically like for someone to like grab onto.
I grab him as
Okay.
Richard grabs me.
It's just like Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
retarded Peter Pan. Phil Six.
Space.
He screams, but it's lost in the void of space.
He's still got Bibble's helmet at the side. He's like trying to like put it on while he's like floating out towards. All right, you're all floating towards the drift rock. I imagine towards the cables to help use them to guide you.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely doing that.
No
Yeah.
space mistakes over here.
All right, you float away, pulling yourselves along with some level of ease towards the large rock. It's about 45 minutes of
Whoa.
work to. I mean, it's slow going. Like you could try to really go for it, but it feels pretty precarious if you were to do so. But
It's
yeah,
45 minutes this shit. Yeah.
about 45 minutes, and it's kind
Wow.
of like it's almost like a peaceful, quiet time after everything you've been through. There's only a few awkward coughs and bits of spittle for Richard. Rue feels mostly healthy though at times you still swear your skin is still crawling. It's kind of like
I
one
get,
of
like,
those
cold flashes.
phantom feelings, yeah, that you can't quite shake. And eventually you touch down on a fairly flat part of the drift rock, and in front of you see a fairly large tunnel. Give me one sec.
Could this possibly be a space dungeon?
It's almost as if we've been building up to this moment for years.
Here it is, in the flesh.
You know what? You know what I say? I say we don't go in it at all.
We reject it. This looks terrible.
Come on.
Yep. I put my hand on it and I rub the rock slowly. Oh yeah, this is a space dungeon. I remember.
Well, shall we enter the dungeon?
Oh, we're in it already.
You enter the cave
I gotta
on
turn
the
this
edge
up,
of the
man.
drift rock.
Oh,
And
I remember.
you know, it's fucking pitch black dark. There's not enough size to this thing to generate its own atmosphere. It's again, it's about 7,000 feet in diameter. There were no additional readings about the surface other than the rock and metal-like surface that seemed to make it up here.
You rocked out too hard.
Way too hard.
What's that? Oh.
He DC'd from turning up.
But the occasional bits of light from your suits, I imagine they kind of give off a little bit of like local ambience, and you can kind of see like a forking path ahead of you up here. You're not sure what lies ahead, but clearly, like this is not a natural cavern here. This is something that has the appearance of being man-made or alien-made or tampered with in some capacity. It's perhaps something that was built upon that was natural, but there's enough clearance and pathway here that it's just not really rubbing you that way.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
This is probably my top 3 videos of all the internet. Is this one's but video?
I forgot about that. So,
Okay, I'm good.
Good, yeah, good.
I've never seen this video.
Oh my god.
It's my top, probably my number
Alright,
3 of
I
all
gotta-
the internet.
I gotta click in.
Yeah.
The end. It's just the ending, right, where he gets into it.
It's at the 26-second mark.
It's
Okay.
great in the beginning too, because he's drunk as shit.
Everyone do the conga.
So casual.
She just takes it.
I feel like there was like an argument before this or something. Like, she's got this
Yeah.
posture like she's already just glaring through him. She doesn't even move.
And then like the definition of sexual harassment happens. But it's so funny.
It's terrible. It's funny because it's like so topical now.
Yep.
So crazy.
Fiddy, I
Yeah.
would love to detect magic right now and see if I
Oh,
can
man.
sense any,
Love magic.
any indication
Yeah.
of what is going on.
Now, out of character, there's that meme about I don't think that's the way that works. Detect magic. I mean, for me, detect magic's more like because you have to. It won't go through like solid, thick walls and shit like that. So it's more like
But
you're
you
less
just said
you're less likely in a dark corridor. Now, if there's something that was there, absolutely, it would reveal that to you. But it's for me the more common, applicable use of it. I'm gonna do this.
It's like if you see something, right?
Yeah.
You can
Like
tell
you're
if
analyzing an object, a corpse, a body, a thing, but blindly using it while not.
I'm analyzing the wall.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair.
Like, because you said it seemed like it was unnaturally made. So
Yeah.
if there was some kind of magical something that
Okay.
made
I got
this,
you. Yeah, I got you.
that's kind of what I was thinking that
Okay.
like the use of it would be.
Okay. Drop that shit in the chat.
Drop that shit.
Okay.
Or just click your dice thing.
Is it magical, Rue? Is it magical?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me. No, it's not magical at all. It was completely useless to use that skill.
But it sounded cool.
But now you're sure.
As a character, I would want to know that it was
Yeah, yeah.
completely useless. So
Yeah.
I'm
So, like,
happy with
no,
my
I love
decision.
it. No, I imagine like Rue with his little floating drone is kind of like conjuring and like touching the
Yeah,
walls,
I'm
like
feeling it.
he's like fucking Joe putting on a magic show up there for the
Yeah.
camera more than anything. He's like,
Let me
turns
listen.
back around like, don't worry.
I like even knock on it.
Yeah,
Do you hear that? Neither do I.
just kind of gets that like foot up on the wall, like, don't worry, friends, it's safe to go forward now.
He's basically like Zoolander.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yep,
God.
yep.
No, I'm not.
The
I'm way
files
more
are in the computer.
No, I'm way more serious than Zoolander.
Like Blue Steel series.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Yeah.
This is serious business.
Well, this seems totally safe to me, guys.
And that's why you always lock tokens.
Yeah.
Look, a fork.
Yeah, I'm moving forward too.
The
Alright.
classic decision: left or right.
Mm.
Analyzing.
You I don't what's the lighting? I mean, cause I'm down to give you got a nice like ambient AOE of like just built into the suits. You have any kind
I've
of
got dark
lighting
vision.
situations?
I've got dark vision too.
Okay.
We all have
I
dark
agree.
vision, don't we?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Except the goblin.
Well,
Oh well, Goblin's probably.
on the precipice of this space dungeon, I'm hesitant to go too far forward here. I almost wonder if we want to just stop at the literal fork in the road and pick
I
back
think you're right.
here.
Analyzing this may take several hours, if not days.
We must move forward slowly.
Listen, D1CK. I don't think you can interface with the rocks here. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but
I missed my V4G unit.
I don't think you're gonna learn anything.
Do you think she likes me?
No.
Damn it.
The Drift Rock must report for duty tomorrow morning.
Oh
Sadness.
no.
That's right.
Are you working tomorrow? You're working tomorrow?
Yeah.
Fuck,
Give it a
dude.
day for
Stop
tomorrow.
the stream